about our election and incited them to violence. On the 6th of January, he unleashed a mob on the Capitol. The president must be held accountable for this vile attack. He knew what he was doing, and now 5 people are dead. Congress will not be intimidated. America will not succumb to mob rule. The vice president can initiate removal of the president who's unfit for office, and this president is unfit. He must be removed. I urge a yes vote on this resolution, and I urge a yes vote on impeachment tomorrow. And I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
My time.
The gentleman from Maryland reserves. Do you reserve?
Well, we have one last speaker. Is the gentleman prepared to close?
I'm prepared to close. Are you prepared to close?
What you doing there, kitty cat?
Mahayo is recognized.
I thought you had one last speaker.
But we'll go after you.
Oh, no, I know you
We'll close on my speaker.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What happened at the Capitol on January 6th was as wrong can be. It's not what America's about. And we condemn this violence. We commend the men and women of the Capitol Police for their bravery. We mourn the loss of those lives that were taken last week. Republicans have been consistent. We condemned the violence last summer. We condemned the violence last week. Democrats have been consistent about one thing: their endless quest to overturn the 2016 election. And they're still trying to overturn the 2016 election after the 2020 election. This has been an obsession with you guys. And in the first round, the first impeachment, based on the anonymous whistleblower, that the country couldn't, you tried to remove President Trump from office based on the guy that we weren't even allowed to see, know who he or she was, couldn't cross-examine an anonymous whistleblower with no first-hand knowledge, who was biased against the president and who worked, interestingly enough, for Joe Biden. So continuing this quest is not, as has been said so many times on the floor tonight, not what the country needs. Not what the country needs, particularly after the year the country has lived through. So I hope we will not vote for this, that this thing will go down, and I urge my colleagues to vote against the resolution sponsored by the gentleman from Maryland. With that, we yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Mr. Raskin?
And Mr. Speaker, I yield the remainder of my time, which I think is 47 seconds, to the distinguished chairman of the Agriculture Committee, Mr. Scott of Georgia.
The gentleman from Georgia is allowed 30 seconds to close.
Well, thank you for that, Mr. Speaker, but what we're discussing tonight, isn't about us. It's about the will of the American people. They're brokenhearted. They're crying. They're discouraged. And the overwhelming number of American people want this president out of office now.
No.
This is why we got to do it now. We got to heal the wounds. The longer that president is over there, the more we're tearing the heart and soul out of the American people. Let us do it now.
The gentleman's time has expired.
You get your ass out of here.
All time for debate has now expired. Pursuant to House Resolution 38, the previous question is ordered on the resolution and on the preamble as amended. The question is on adoption of the resolution. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The resolution is agreed to.
Mr. Speaker?
That's the shit.
Mr. Speaker, I'd ask for a recorded vote.
Yeah, I would think so.
Pursuant to Section 3
Court parliamentary
of the House Resolution 8, the yeas and nays are ordered. Members will record their votes by electronic device.
Why is my shit acting weird? Oh, God, help me. You piece of shit. Well, that's it, guys. That's it. That was it. I can't get off that. guess that's it. No, they're going to record the votes. Those comments are coming through on, I guess, Twitch, Twitter,
What purpose does the gentleman from Indiana seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Baird of Indiana, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Baird will vote no on H-Res 21.
Maryland seeks recognition.
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Ms. Alma Adams of North Carolina, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Adams will vote yes on H-Res 21.
No, he won't. Kent Brown, where are you, man?
Purposes, gentleman from Virginia seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Peters, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Peters will vote yes on H-Res 21. As a member designated by Mr. Liu, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Liu will vote yes on H-Res 21. As a member designated by Mr. Lowenthal, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Lowenthal will vote yes on H-Res 21. As a member designated by Mr. Blumenauer, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Blumenauer will vote yes on H-Res 21.
Showing 0 viewers. Are you shitting me?
For what purposes, gentleman from California seek recognition.
As a member designated by Mr. Vella pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Vella will vote aye on H-Res 21.
For what purposes, gentleman from California seek recognition.
As a member designated by Ms. Eshu, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Eshu will vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purposes, the gentlewoman from Virginia seek recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a member designated by Mr. McKeechan, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. McKeechan will vote yes on H-Res 21. And as a member designated by Ms. Porter, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Porter will vote yes on H-Res 21.
So it might be just moot at this point. But it doesn't look like it looks like it's going to pass. Pence won't do it. They'll move to impeach. They'll probably impeach him after he's left office simply because they don't want him to run ever again. And that's going to be it, pretty much. Okay, so Steam Chat's up there. That's Stream Chat.
For what purposes, gentleman from New York seek recognition.
As the member designated by Chairwoman Eddie Denise Johnson pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Chairwoman Johnson will vote yea on H-Res 21. The member designated by Chairman Jerry Nadler pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Chairman Nadler will vote yea on H-Res 21. The member designated by Congressman Brendan Boyle pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Congressman Boyle will vote yea on H-Res 21.
Purposes, gentleman from Michigan seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Bergman pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Mr. Bergman will vote no on H-Res 21. Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Lamborn pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Mr. Lamborn will vote no on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Maine seek recognition?
As a member designated by Ms. Custer, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Custer will vote yea on H-Res 21.
Thanks, Kent, for sharing the video. I appreciate it, sir.
Gentleman from North Carolina seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Bishop of Georgia, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Bishop will vote yes. He will vote yes on H-Res 21. Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Thompson of Mississippi, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Thompson will vote yes on H-Res 21. Finally, Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Richmond of Louisiana, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Richmond will vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Massachusetts seek recognition?
As the member designated by Ms. Frankel pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Frankel will vote yes on H-Res 21. As the member designated by Ms. Bonamici pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Bonamici will vote yes on H-Res 21.
I just lost the internet connection, or at least on Facebook. Facebook, I don't know, maybe they just blocked me from that.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Texas seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Fletcher will vote aye on H-Res 21.
Okay, I'm back up, it looks like. Someone's trying to block me.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Illinois seek recognition?
As a member designated by Mr. Carson pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Carson will vote yes on H-Res 21. As a member designated by Mr. Rush pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Rush will vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Maryland seek recognition?
As the member designated by Ms. Jayapal pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Ms. Jayapal will vote aye on House Resolution 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Illinois seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Grijalva pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Grijalva will vote yes on H-Res 21, and as the member designated by Ms. Presley pursuant to H-Res 1, I inform the House that Ms. Presley will vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Tennessee seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Fleischman of Tennessee pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Fleischman will vote nay on H-Res 21. As the member designated by Mr. Desjardins of Tennessee pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Desjardins will vote nay on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from New Jersey seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Ms. Bonnie Watson Coleman pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Watson Coleman will vote yes on H-Res 21. And as the member designated by Mr. Albio Series pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Series will vote yes on H-Res 21. And as the member designated by Mr. Bill Pascrell pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Pascrell will vote yes on H-Res 21. And finally, Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Paul Tonko pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Tonko will vote yes on H-Res 21. Thank you.
Purpose does the gentleman from Kansas seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. LaTurner of Kansas pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Mr. LaTurner will vote nay on House Resolution 21.
Purpose does the gentleman from Washington seek recognition?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the member designated by Ms. Strickland of Washington pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Strickland will vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Ohio seek recognition?
As a member designated by Mr. Gonzalez of Ohio, pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Mr. Gonzalez of Ohio will vote no on H-Res 21.
Okay, now I'm live on this.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Pennsylvania seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Lawson of Florida 5th Congressional District, pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Mr. Lawson will vote yea on H Resolution 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Connecticut seek recognition?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as member designated by Mr. Adam Smith of Washington State pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Smith will vote yes on H-Res 21.
Where's the chat part on this?
For what purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as member designated by Congressmember Napolitano, pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Congressmember Napolitano will vote yes on H-Res 21. And Mr. Speaker, as member designated by Congressmember Costa, pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Congressmember Costa will also vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Nebraska seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Bill Rockus of Florida, pursuant to HRES 8, I inform the House that Mr. Bill Rockus will vote nay on HRES 21.
Okay, so I'm live here, I'm live there, and there. I'm live everywhere. Doing a mic check. All right, y'all. Yeah, I'm live everywhere. Maybe I should run for office. Can't do that. We're not gonna let that happen. Are you fucking crazy? I think things are fucked up now, right? Call this meeting. Can't bring Cody on camera. Tried to bring Scott on camera. I guess you guys are not. Well, it just won't let me. I guess you don't. I don't know why. Stop smoking, you asshole. Just quit drinking. So I'm drinking energy drinks.
For the purpose as the gentlewoman from California seek recognition.
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Mondaire Jones of New York, pursuant to HRES 8, I inform the House that Mr. Jones will vote yea on HRES 21.
What do you think about that flag all lit up? That's badass, ain't it? All right, let's see what the votes are at. 153 to 150. Of course, it's going to pass. I think that's a given.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Pennsylvania seek recognition?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a member designated by Mr. Doyle of Pennsylvania, pursuant to House Resolution 8, I hereby inform the House that Mr. Doyle will vote yes on House Resolution 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Arizona seek recognition?
As a member designated by Representative Kirkpatrick, pursuant to H.R. 8, I inform the House Representative Kirkpatrick will vote aye on H.R. 21. As a member designated by Representative Cardenas, pursuant to H.R. 8, I inform the House that Representative Cardenas will vote aye on H.R. 21.
I'm inviting people right now on Facebook, friends. What else you got to do on a Tuesday night?
For what purpose does the gentleman from New Jersey seek recognition?
As the member designated by Mr. Schneider pursuant to HRES 8, I inform the House that Mr. Schneider will vote yes on HRES 21.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Pennsylvania seek recognition?
As the member designated by Ms. Wild, pursuant to HRES 8, I inform the House that Ms. Wild will vote yes on HRES 21.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Connecticut seek recognition?
As the member designated by Ms. Wilson pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Wilson will vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Massachusetts seek recognition?
Good evening, Mr. Speaker. As the member designated by the Honorable Mr. James Langsman of Rhode Island, pursuant to House Resolution 8, I'd like to inform the House that Mr. Langsman will vote yes on House Resolution 21 as amended, a resolution calling on Vice President Michael R. Pence to convene and mobilize the principal office of the Executive Department of the Cabinet to activate Section 4 of the 25th Amendment and to declare President Donald J. Trump incapable of executing the duties of his office and to immediately exercise powers as acting president. Thank you.
That's it. What the fuck is that? Stop that. I've never used Facebook because I checked.
For what purpose does gentleman from California seek recognition?
As the member designated by Congressman Jerry McNerney pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. McNerney will vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Virginia seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Ms. Titus of Nevada, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Titus will vote yes on H-Res 21.
I can't see the no votes right now, simply because I...
Purpose does the gentlewoman from New York seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Young of Alaska pursuant to House Resolution 8, I inform the House that Mr. Young will vote nay on adoption of House Resolution 21. Thank you.
Hey, Greg. Or Gina Milton. How are you?
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Kansas seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Ms. Lager Fernandez pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Lager Fernandez will vote aye on H-Res 21.
Purpose does the gentleman from Indiana seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Ms. Walorski, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Walorski will vote nay on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Michigan seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mrs. Dingle pursuant to H-Res 8, I will inform the House that Mrs. Dingle will vote yea on H-Res 21. As the member designated by Ms. Lee of Nevada, pursuant to H-Res 8, I will inform the House that Ms. Lee will vote yea on H-Res 21. As the member designated by Ms. Capter pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Capter will vote yea on H-Res 21. As the member designated by Ms. Axney pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Ms. Axney will vote yea on H-Res 21.
I guess they just, she and her buddies just call her up anytime.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Florida seek recognition?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a member designated by Mr. Buchanan of the state of Florida pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Buchanan will vote nay on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Florida seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Hastings of Florida, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Hastings will vote yea on H-Res 21. And Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. Payne of New Jersey, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Payne will also vote yea on H-Res 21.
I will be back.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from New York seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Deutsch of Florida, pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. Deutsch will vote yes on H-Res 21.
Purpose does the gentlewoman from Michigan seek recognition?
As the member designated by Ms. Ocasio-Cortez pursuant to H-Res 8, I will inform the House that Ms. Ocasio-Cortez will vote yes on H-Res 21.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from California seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by Mr. DeSaulnier pursuant to H-Res 8, I inform the House that Mr. DeSaulnier will vote yes on H-Res 21.
Silence. Silence! You know, this is dumb. Damn, Kent. I just typed all that shit to you, and I'm like, I don't have to type to you. You can hear me, probably. My bad. So, yeah, I don't know why you can't join on the video. I've tried to bring people into it, like, to see, you know, their face and stuff, but it won't let me. I don't know what's up. But, welcome, Becky Bowman. Isn't that enough? I can't see the no votes. Hold on. I'm going to go look. All right, 8 left. He's done. That passed. We knew it would. But now what? Now what? Oh, I don't even know how to start. How do you start a room? Can't. I've never actually done, like, I mean, I broadcast on Steam Labs and Streamlabs, all that, so I don't know anything about Facebook or that. Test. Yeah, it's still working. Still sounds all right. Well, I guess that's moot now. I guess that's over with. One Republican voted yay. 205 voted nay. Those are the ones that worry me. Go on timeline. I don't even know how to get out of this. Let me see if I can swipe out of this. I'm in live video right now. I don't know what you mean, choose live video. Would I have to start over again? Okay, I'm going to finish this up and see if I can do that. What happened there? Oh, creepy headphones. If I don't have them on my head, they just turn off. That's dumb. guess that bullshit's over. Sure seems that way now. Yeah, it's dead. Call it. It's like the game. Call it. It's rain. Rained out. No. This one's done. $223,205.
On this vote, the yeas are 223, the nays are 205. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
That's it. Wow. That just culminated in. Just needed something else there.
Pursuant to Section 5A1B of House Resolution 8, the House stands adjourned until 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Very good. That's it. I like Joe Rogan.
It's Aspen Dental's Everyday Smiles event, where new patients get a full exam and set of x-rays with no obligation.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
I mean, this recent thing where those folks went to the Capitol and they were standing up on his behalf, and then he throws them under the bus.
Yeah, he threw them all under the bus after it was over. Yeah, it's crazy. I watched the video of it. I had not seen much video of it.
Yeah.
I'd only seen like a couple of videos on Instagram. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't want to get depressed and watch it, but today I said, let's get depressed. And I watched a bunch of it. I had no idea how bad it was.
Yeah.
In terms of like the sheer number of people like storming the gates and screaming, and these small handful of cops that were supposed to protect it.
Yep.
And that one cop that got beaten, there's like a video of them hitting the cop with flags and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, what? How did that happen? How did it deteriorate to that?
I know, man. It's really sad to me that kind of thing happened, and then you have these fucking cowards, Rudy Giuliani, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, all of these cowards. They are allowed to stand on their pulpit and say these things like they're tough, but they're nowhere around to support these folks in the first place, and they're sending them into the battle, and now they will comfortably join the ranks of their members of Congress, while these other people are going to go to jail and have these charges, which they should have, of course, but these leaders who manipulated them, there are no consequences to them. I mean, I think that's the real crime.
Yeah, well, we'll see if there's consequences, because I have a feeling there will be for Trump. I think this is going to be the end. I really do. I think there's very little chance that he's going to run in 2024 after this, because a lot of people were hoping for that. A lot of his supporters were hoping for that. But after this, I don't even think.
Yeah, I think the useful idiot is done. I mean, I think like the people like Mitch McConnell and those people, they don't have no more use for him, so he's done. I mean, he's done enough for them. They're happy with what he's done. He's delivered with the Supreme Court and so forth. His time is over.
It's interesting to see, we've always known that there's a certain faction in the country that's fairly simple, like not that sophisticated, not very smart, and they like thinking in like a real narrow box. And this guy came along and was their guy, and then we realized like the assholes of this country were unrepresented, and then all of a sudden they got represented. Like there was a lot of people, like a lot of those folks that stormed the castle, that stormed Capitol Hill. Like if you see like when they get arrested and you find out who they are, like guy living with his mom, believing QAnon conspiracies, thinks the FBI is sending out pedophile codes, that kind of shit. Like, those guys didn't have a king before. When you realize how many of them there are.
But what about the guy who was, I don't know, a retired lieutenant colonel from the Army or the Air Force? I mean, so there are people there who also had education and they were plugged into society, right? There were a number of those people too, right?
I'm sure there was a few. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think most of us are simple people, and that's okay. I think you should be able to be simple and have a decent life and enjoy yourself. I think that there's no crime there. I think that's fine. The real problem is that we allow our leaders to lie. And then you can manipulate. Even the most sophisticated among us can be manipulated. And I think that's the real crime. So it's like, not that these people were simple. It's okay to be simple.
Maybe simple is the wrong word. Maybe assholes is the right word. There's a lot of people that are assholes. And there was never a guy who said it's okay to be an asshole. But I'm an asshole too.
Do you think that the majority of these people were assholes?
I think they could be assholes if they were led the right way.
But can't most of us be assholes, I think?
At the worst moments of your life, yeah.
Yeah, I think so, but you know, I think that when you have, I'm telling you, man, I'm putting a square on those people in Washington. Trump is one of them, of course, but I'm talking about the Ted Cruz's and all of those people as well. I mean, those people, they should face the criminal justice system for what they did, because these folks who are out here, we all have the potential to be assholes. And then if you think that what you're doing is holding up the liberty that we promise in this country, that you are being a real patriot, and you really believe that you've been manipulated to do that by these leaders, they should pay the price. And that's the thing that's really I'm really disturbed by. It's like, yeah, we should get Trump, yeah, absolutely, but we should go after those other people.
I don't know, what did Ted Cruz do?
Oh, with the election.
We're saying that they're election fraud.
Election fraud, when he knew what time it was. Those guys, they know they were being dishonest.
I think it's a political ploy, right? There's politicians take stances based on where they think their constituents lean. And, you know, Stop the Steal and all that was trending on all these social media sites.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a prominent politician that's a manipulative person that looks at these things and goes, that's an angle that I can use.
You're absolutely right, Joe. That's exactly what politicians do. And we should expect more of them. And until we do, they're going to continue to do that bullshit when they know that is bullshit. And so you're right. That's what politicians do.
So do you think? So what do you think they were trying to do? Do you think just posturing to try to get those people on their side for the future?
That's right. I think that Ted Cruz and those folks were setting themselves up for a future presidential run or what have you, and hoping that they get Trump, the kingmaker, to endorse them, even though Trump called his wife ugly. I would have beat Trump's ass. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, it's like, what kind of man allows that?
He called him Lion Ted.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of man allows another guy to call his wife ugly and not do anything?
Didn't he also infer that he was a serial killer or something? That his dad, Zodiac killer.
Yeah, his dad helped kill Kennedy or something. He said, yeah. But what kind of man does that? I mean, allows that? I mean, I don't understand that.
Well, what kind of man wants to be a senator? You know, it's a weird business. And you get deeply entrenched in that business, and there's compromises that you make, and a lot of weirdness.
I understand, but you know, like what kind of person want to be president? That's fine. I don't want to do that, but I'm glad there are people that do it. And the thing is, I think we should require them to be more honorable than we do.
We certainly should.
And so, like when people are posturing politically, when they know that this is just there's no chance that this election can be overturned because there's no fraud, I think they should pay a price. I think that is just too manipulative, and I think their position requires that they be more honest. And until we require them require this of them, then I think that they will continue.
I think there's a style of behavior that lends itself to success, like business success and financial success, and it's like a speed style, like people that are into amphetamines and people that are into like getting ahead and pushing it. And I think that there's a style of behavior that leads itself to be compassionate, thinking more about community, and I think that's more like a marijuana style or a mushroom style.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free, only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data costs, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Right now at T-Mobile, switch your family of 3 or more from AT&T or Verizon to T-Mobile Essentials and save up to 50% off your current service smartphones.
Fuck out here.
Tonight, Republicans joining the race to impeach President Trump as he should.
No.
What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Greetings from Podcastville. It's Tuesday, January 12th. Let me tell you something. From Jersey, I'm letting you know DraftKings is where it's at. The joint is brought to you by motherfucking DraftKings. I don't know if you watched football this weekend. You know, there was some pushes, whatnot, couple upsets, but there's money to be made. Sports are in full swing right now. There's no shortage of action. You got college basketball, you got pro basketball, you got NFL football. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. To celebrate the playoffs, DraftKings is giving all new players a great offer. Grab a pen. Get ready for this one, cocksuckers. This weekend, bet on any football game at 100 to 1 odds. That's right. All you got to do is bet $1 on any football game this weekend for a chance to win $100. Plus, the basketball season has tipped off. So head to the DraftKings app right now and check out their daily odds boost. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today, right now, while you're fucking around. Use promo code JOEY when you sign up to get 100 to 1 odds on any football team this weekend. That's code JOEY for new players to get a shot at $100 on any football game this weekend. You understand what I'm fucking offering you, cocksuckers? For a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, here's the part of the lawyers. You know it already. You gotta be 21 or older. If you're younger than 21, go fuck yourself. Go play dice on the corner or something. You shouldn't be fucking gambling. Indiana, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Colorado, you're all in. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for the details. Now, if you got a gambling problem, there's help. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. If you're in Indiana, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. But if we're gambling like a motherfucker, it's DraftKings Sportsbook app time. Use code Joey and cash in on this deal. The joint is also brought to you by ZipRecruiter. For a lot of us, our home is now more than just our home. It's our fucking office. We do everything out of the house. Record, gym, school, fucking, Jesus Christ. If you're a business owner or manage people these days, your home might also be a hiring office. That's where ZipRecruiter comes in. You don't want nobody coming over your house to talk to you about a fucking job. ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier because you can do it all at one convenient place. ZipRecruiter.com/church. No matter where you're hiring from, ZipRecruiter does the work for you. And right now, try ZipRecruiter for free. Joe, what are you talking about? For free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. CHURCH. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. CHURCH. And all you need is Wi-Fi to try it for free. That easy.
Go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. ZipRecruiter, Ohio. The joint is also brought to you by one of my personal favorites, CBD Line. For the last 2 days, I've been living off this. 2 weeks before my surgery, I stopped taking baby aspirin. I stopped eating the CBD gummies. I stopped it all because I wanted it to hit me harder after the surgery. And I gotta tell you something, after 2 days. I eat gummies for pain management, and then I pop a pain pill. I eat gummies for pain management, then I eat a pain pill. That's been my schedule the last 2 days. I'm rubbing this on my knee. CBD Line is exceptional. Whether it's a kinesiology tape, bathing a bath ball in your tub, vape, however you want to put CBD in, CBD Line is going to help you. Go to CBD Line right now and look at the third-party lab test results. And read about terpenes, read about CBN, read about what's available to you and you don't know about. Okay? So go to CBDline.com and press in Joey and get 20% off delivered right to your fucking crib. Who does that for you? Nobody. That's how we're starting off the year, all right? That's it and that's that. Let's get this fucking party started. Candles lit, you little dirty cocksuckers. Beautiful. Hey, who is? What's happening? Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joe's Joint. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? It's Tuesday the 12th. First off, I'm very sorry we had to move the podcast from Monday to Tuesday. Yesterday was just too heavy of a day. I had physical therapy. I had a bunch of shit, you know. So we got to do it at night. I'm happy I'm here. Thank you for all the tweets and the Facebook messages and the Patreon messages. You guys hit it out of the park. When I got out of surgery, I looked at my computer. I'm like, these motherfuckers, they're relentless. I was in so much fucking pain. But hey, it was a great weekend. I got it over with. If you guys know anything about me, I hate doctors and hospitals more than I hate broccoli. You know what I'm saying? Like broccoli and cauliflower. You ever show up with broccoli around me, I walk right out of the fucking room. I hate how it fucking smells. But I fucking hate the whole experience. But once I'm in the car, I had to do this. I had to do this just to get out of it. You know? And it was so funny what came to me in the hospital. So Thursday night, you know, I didn't know my surgery time. I had no idea what my surgery time was. They said they'd call after 4 on Thursday and tell me, which is like, what the fuck, you know? I'm in suspense all fucking day. Mercy comes home from school about 4:30. My wife, they come downstairs, they come to the garage, we're talking downstairs. Mercy's sitting on the steps, Terry's sitting in the step under her, and they called. And they were like, you gotta be in at 9 o'clock, your surgery's scheduled for 10. We're not recommending it, but we understand if you want to go home, but we're recommending that you stay the night so we can watch you, we have better eyes on you, blah, blah, blah. I got off the phone with them and I told my wife and Mercy, like, yeah, they don't want me to stay. And all of a sudden my daughter's face just went pale. And she started crying. You know, I was going to miss her birthday. I mean, it was fucking terrible. I got upset. And then, you know, I calmed down. I talked to her a little bit. She was scared. She was scared for her dad. You know, it broke my fucking heart. So what we did was we got a birthday cake Thursday night. And we celebrated her birthday, a little Carvel cake. We each had a little piece, and we hung out all night. I let her stay up late with me, and, you know, I was really concerned about it. She just doesn't like that shit at all. She doesn't even like when I change the setting. And she saw the stitches last night. She ran out. She don't like none of that shit at all. She wouldn't even pick me up at the hospital. She's like, I don't want to see Dad like that. So I can't tell you how I felt all weekend. The surgery, you know, I mean, they tried to stick the needle in my hand first, the intravenous, and it didn't work. I almost fainted. and went into my arm nice and fucking, whatever. The little nurse's assistant, great guy. He's like, I've been doing this for 9 years. I've never seen a man sweat so much. I mean, I was sweating fucking profusely. I had to put the bed upside down so the blood could go to my head. But after that, I gotta be honest with you, it was great. Then they hit you with a couple by-the-ways. They're like, the anesthesiology's gonna come in. Nice guy. Comes in, sweetheart of a guy. Everybody was a sweetheart. So that at least soothed my fucking nerves. You guys know I'm a nervous fucking dude. The anesthesiologist guy came in and he goes, listen, I'm gonna put you out and shit, but before you go out, we gotta do an epidural shot in your fucking spine. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Now, a week earlier, New Year's Eve, I was at a house and one of the chicks is a nurse's assistant, like a doctor's assistant, a little higher than a nurse. And she goes, you know they're going to give you an epidural block, right? And I'm like, I fucking hope not. I saw my wife get one, and I saw my ex-wife. I listened to this. When I had my first kid in 1990, my wife was one of those fucking hippie chicks. And she's like, I'm going to have the baby natural, you know, all that shit. After 1 hour at the natural place, she cracked. When they put that up, I walked into the room, and I saw the blood coming out of her back from the needle, and I went down. That's what I associate an epidural block with. And then about 2 years ago, my wife's back was hurting her, and she did the Joe Rogan treatment, and they had to do an epidural block. And I went with her. That's what husbands do. And I was holding on to her hand. I could feel the pain. So when they told me epidural block, dog, I started looking at my sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck this shit. I ain't getting no needle. He goes, I give you my word. You're gonna be so fucking numb at that point. You're not even gonna feel it. So when they got me all prepped up and everything, guys, I gotta tell you the most embarrassing thing. I'm old. My dick has shrunk over the years. But Friday, my dick was the smallest it's ever been in 57.5 years. It went all the way in. I don't know if it was the fear, the fucking drugs they put into me. So I'm on the operating table, and I tell the guy right before they shoot me with the epidural block. The dude was Cuban, the guy that rolled me in. He goes, listen, I gotta pee. And he goes, don't worry about that. If you have to pee during the procedure, we'll stick a tube in your dick, and we'll take it out of your dick that way. I go, listen, I'm doing enough today. Ain't nobody sticking no tubes in my fucking dick. Let's just do this right now. So I got up, and they gave a girl a bottle, and I had to hold my inch dick. It was this fucking big. The turtleneck, just the wrapping around my dick. It was a nightmare, pulling the skin back and trying to pee into the fucking bottle. I peed on my gown. I mean, it was a fucking nightmare, guys. I remember them sticking a little prick in my back, and I fucking gave a little thing, and that's it. I wish I remember what happened after that. I blacked out. I don't know if I called them cocksuckers, I told them to make America great again. I don't know what fucking happened after that. All I know is that they turned the lights off at 10:30, and they were weaning me out. And when I got to the recovery room, it was fucking 4 o'clock. And guys, I had a pain because the epidural block wore off after 2 hours. The surgery lasted 4. So I woke up to fucking a pain that you couldn't even imagine. They even had to shut off a nerve in my leg. They shut off a nerve in your leg and they turn it back on or something to eliminate the pain. The dude's like, I'll leave it off. He goes, I know what you're going through. So they started shooting me with a bunch of shit. Demerol. Once I got the Demerol, it was all right. And you know me, I'm like, give me, because you want me to tell you what the sad thing about this is, guys, I don't eat this shit. But my tolerance is high. My street tolerance is high. So they shot me with dog, do whatever the fuck it is. They hit me with 2 narcos and 2 fucking Percocets. And I still had pain. I was on fire. I was on fucking fire. I was fucked up as a can of worms. I sat in recovery for like fucking an hour, just looking. There was nobody in there. It was just me in recovery and some other poor bastard on the other side. They fixed his foot. His foot was all fucked up. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. That's all we could do the whole time in fucking recovery. And then, like, you ready to go up to your room? And they put me up in my fucking room. I was starving at that point. They hit me with the motherfucking pasta. It wasn't bad. A couple of shrimp in it, but they gave me broccoli. So that pissed me off. And a breadstick. non-sugarless applesauce and fucking apple juice. Tremendous dinner. I ate it now. I had 300 milligrams. I had 3. That's they called to tell me to bring my sleep apnea machine also. So I had to bring my road sleep apnea machine. I have 2 of the same machines. I had one for the house and one I would use for the road. So I went into the bag and I haven't used that bag. Since February 28th, I haven't looked in that bag. Oh my Lord. I looked in that bag the other night. 20 like no parole was in that bag. They would throw me under the fucking jail. I found shit in that bag. I found 2 hits of acid. Paper acid, because I always put that bag together so that if I got stuck at the airport, I wouldn't be bored and upset. So there was edibles in there, there was fucking anxiety medication in there, fucking edibles. I mean, there was everything in there. There was a vapor pen in there I hadn't even seen. When was the last time you never saw me smoke a fucking vapor pen? There was a vapor pen. Who the fuck? No, because I just used it. I just used it February 28th. This is a compartment I had in there for emergency stuff, hearing aid batteries, blood, in case you get stuck one night at a hotel, blood pressure medication, all my vitamins, everything's in there. When I found those 2 hits of little paper acid, I go, that's where you've been. I lost you a year ago, you cocksucker. So I cleaned out the bag, but I also found 200 milligrams. Or I found edibles in there. I found old edibles in there.
Are they good still?
I threw the cookie away. I wouldn't give the cookie to Lee. You know what I'm saying? I gave Lee molded stars before. We found those molded stars. We ate those fucking things. You know us. We build our immune system. We don't give a fuck, Jack. So I went up to my room, man. They fed me dinner. And I gotta be honest with you, I thought I was really gonna be unhappy the whole night and be miserable. I mean, I miss my daughter. I miss my wife. I gave my nurse a fucking nickname, blood pressure, because that's all that bitch would do is raise my blood pressure. Every time she came in, it was to bust my balls. One night, the first night, actually, I couldn't sleep. I was in the hospital. I was prepared for it. I was like, I'm not gonna sleep. So I'm gonna watch fucking catch up on some videos, watch some old concerts, Maybe I'll pop an edible, but I told the recovery room chick, I go, I got some edibles. And she goes, how strong are they? I go, 200. She goes, please don't do them in here. She goes, please. So I asked them, when they gave me the dinner, I asked them for the turkey sandwich. They always give you at the hospital. Every hospital gives you a fucking turkey sandwich. So they gave me a turkey sandwich, and I left that there to go with applesauce, just in case I did eat the edible at night. I had something to munch on in the middle of the night. I brought some protein powders with me. I always prepare some protein things with me from Onnit. Onnit has these peanut butter protein bites that are fucking tremendous. I brought like 10 of those with me. And you know what, man? I probably slept 3 hours that night. She came in. I finally, at one point, like 4, I put the sleep apnea mask on just to force myself to sleep. Do you know this bitch came in? And she goes, Mr. Diaz, we're going to come back and give you blood pressure medication. I go, all right, hurry up. I'm trying to go to sleep here. Fucking an hour later, she showed up. I go, I'm just fucking falling asleep, and you got to come in and break my balls now, blood pressure. She loved it. I kept calling her blood pressure. I had a little gay guy that was her assistant, the sweetest guy you ever met. Again, I had to pee, so they wanted me to get up. They're like, it's time for you to get up. You can get up, And I go, fuck it, let's do this shit. And I got up, and the chick is behind me, and the little gay guy's in front of me. He's there like 5 minutes. I got my little inch dick in the container. I'm trying to pee, and this guy's looking straight at me, and I'm like, listen, I've done a lot of crazy things. I can't pee in front of this gay guy. I just can't take my dick out and pee in front of this gay guy. I showed my dick to 1,000 gay guys just to torture them over the years. I'm 58. I can't. Oh, yeah, I would show gay guys my dick all the time. Take a look at this fucking uke of love, cocksucker. But I told him right to his face, I go, dog, I can't pee in front of you. You got to abandon ship. You got me all fucked up. So he fucking went out. And they told me in the morning they would give me physical therapy and let me go. They came. They got me. They fucking, nice little breakfast, scrambled eggs, nice bacon, a corn muffin, and a doctor. I got up. I fucking, I can't watch TV in the daytime, but whatever was on was on. I was watching something about the American Mafia was on or something on CNN. I was watching that, and they came in like they said. You know, the doctor told me, he goes, listen, you want to stay, you stay. He goes, if I was you, I'd let us watch you overnight. I had my heart was slow. You know, I've always said this. On August 21st, when we got in the 19th, I had a mild heart attack because the cavity in my chest hurt for 3 or 4 days. I said, if it hurts past that, I'll go to the fucking doctor. It didn't hurt past that, so I never went to the doctor. But I'm still, to this day, convinced that I had a mild heart attack. I just didn't. If I would have gone to the hospital and they would have drawn blood, they would have told me I would have had a mild heart attack. So ever since that night, my heart's been beating kind of fucking slow. So they were like, listen, we're a little concerned. They were so concerned that a cardiovascular doctor came in at night and kind of talked to me a little bit. But I could tell it was something he wanted to tell me. But since he's not my heart doctor, he couldn't tell me. But he gave me a card, which proved to me he wanted to tell me something. So I left him a message today to see if he'd call me back personally. And after this whole thing's over, I'm switching heart doctors because I'm sure I need a stent, or maybe for them to give me one of those fucking jolts when they put those electrode things in your heart to get your beat back going. Mm-hmm. So listen, man, I got a daughter. 20 years ago I wouldn't have given a fuck about this thing. I wouldn't have given a fuck about the surgery. I wouldn't have given a fuck about anything. But you know what, man? I want to walk around Great Adventure with her. I want to be able to walk around parks with her and take hikes. I'm a walker. I'm from North Bergen, New Jersey. I think I got up the hill with a fucking scooter? No, you got to fucking walk. I'm a walker. So for me just to be able to walk 8 minutes now, that breaks my fucking heart. It's embarrassing. Even 2 years ago when I'm taking to Disneyland, at one point I was like, I'm done, Terry. My knees are on fucking fire, both of them. So, I'm going to use a little CBD line while we're here talking. I fucking, if you want later on, I might take a picture and we can post it for you. I don't want to show you the stitches. I made a little video for you guys yesterday, but I made it in the wrong place. I was going to place up just to show you the leg, but you guys seen enough horror with Tom Segura. You know what I'm saying?
It's like once
you
you
guys
have a
have
man
been doing
down,
enough with Uncle Tom. So I just wanted
to.
So what I'm doing now is just putting the CBD around the area. Because one place I have a lot of pain is in the thigh. So I just put the little fucking thing on it, blah, 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 blah. And here we go, you bad motherfuckers. That's how this works. This is what I'm trying to say to you. And I mean the gummies to replace, I don't know if you listen, at 58, if you think I'm going to be one of those guys right now that gets caught up on pain pills, I can't. 2
years older than me.
I already did my 27-year term of cocaine. I can't be chasing pills right now. So I'll play the pain game a little bit. Listen, man, it was so funny out in the hospital. I'm sitting there. I can't believe that in every aspect of life,
me too, but
no matter what, again, I'm using plumbers, dentists, doctors, laborers. When you have pain, it gets you to the next level. It's amazing how sometimes we have to go through pain to get to that next level. Like, yeah, this is going to be great in 6 weeks, but that fucking physical therapy today hurt so bad I had to take a nap after work for 2 hours. I mean, walk back, and I'm doing a little extra there. Like, I'm doing a little extra. Like I've been walking. She tells me to get up every hour on the hour. You guys know for years when I write, I do 1:15. And I got to write this weekend because I was at peace. I was at the hospital, so I got half the chapter written. So my deal is coming through. My deal I made to you guys, I don't care about anything else this year. I just want to write that book. I care less about stand-up comedy. I care about the podcast. I care about communicating with you guys. But stand-up comedy right now, the travels, I have no interest. I don't know why. Especially what happened after Washington last week. Like I just told Jim Florentine, who was here with his son to bring dinner, and I said to him, with comics, what if you get on a plane and you're going to Kansas City, and when you land, you go on Twitter or whatever, and all of a sudden there's a fucking war going on 2 blocks from your comedy club or from your hotel. I got a wife, I got a kid, I'm not missing meals. there's no reason for me to go out there right now. It's too crazy. It's not that I'm scared. I just don't want to do something I don't have to. There's no, why walk on landmines when you don't have to, you know? But it was just so weird how in every fucking... I remember when I started comedy, from 91 to 98, I was in pain because I was so bad as a comic. You ever been in pain? Like, I was so bad as a comic, and I wanted to be good, that I was in pain, you know? But after I got a little better, and I started getting, you know, in Seattle was where I felt myself becoming a comic. But you have to overcome pain to get to the next level. And like I said, even with this, there was a point today after that PT lady left, my whole leg was on fucking fire. That podcast I put up in Patreon, because I didn't give you this on Monday, but I didn't want to leave my Patreon people on a fucking lurch. So I left them a little 22-minute Joey Diaz project just to let them know those 22 minutes just from sitting here yesterday and the chair going up against my thigh made my legs swell. So, you know, right now I'm comfortable. If I feel anything, I'll get the fuck out of here. You know, you guys got to see me. I look good. I look healthy. You know, I'm happy. I'm so happy I got this over with. If you guys knew the pussy I am when it comes to this shit, half the anxiety I had left is gone. Because if I was going to have anxiety, it was going to be last week. Between the 2 shows, the fucking needles, the echocardiogram, the stress test. The stress test was a motherfucker too, I ain't gonna lie to you, but I passed with flying colors. It just was a great week. You know why? Because I did something. I went out of my comfort zone. I love going out of my comfort zone. In the last 8 months, I haven't gotten out of my comfort zone. I haven't done dick. And so I can call Bill Burr and follow him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill, do 10 minutes, let me go up behind you and be out of my comfort zone. I got nobody, like, nobody's doing dick. So I really haven't pushed my comfort zone. So the surgery meant a lot more and a lot different levels. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just wasn't a new knee. It was a new step for me. Even at 58, you know, you still got to grow. So would I do this 20 years ago? If it wasn't for that chick upstairs, I wouldn't have done none of this. I would have been dead from sleep apnea already. She's the one that had to beg me to go to the doctor when the sleep apnea fucking was dooming on me. So I wouldn't even have fucking done shit if it wasn't for her. And this is the real reason. I tell you guys this from my heart because this is Uncle Joey's joint. I always want to be honest with you. Her dad had this option when he was 50. And he didn't want to do his knees over. And he had a heart attack, and now they couldn't do his knees. So now he has a hard time walking. I love my father-in-law. I love my in-laws. But my wife pulled me aside, and she's like, I don't want what happened to my dad to happen to you. If something happens to your heart, then your heart isn't strong enough to withdraw to, you know, the surgery. But I'll tell you one thing that the doctor told me afterward. And the PT guy told me my first bend was 68, which I think the first, you know, they measure like a fucking Puerto Rican protractor, middle protractor. You stab him and you made a circle. Did you ever protract the mic when you were a kid? They make you go to that. I thought they stopped teaching him because they were no good. When was the last time you used a protractor to make a circle? You used it in the 4th grade and didn't use them again. Who gives a fuck about a protractor? But, yeah, the first day was 63 or something, and today was 70. And one thing that the one lady said to me, she goes, did you work out before this? And I go, I really did. And I stretched every day, and I did Puerto Rican yoga every day, you know, downward dogs. I did everything I could. I went to the gym 3 times a week. I got ready for this physically. You know, last Monday at the gym, I worked so hard I had a fucking anxiety attack from picking up 45-pound plates and just fucking going up and down like a fucking baboon. But I wanted to be ready. I wanted my heart to be ready, you know. I just, over 50, lifting weights is the fountain of youth. You know, it takes care of so many things, cortisol, diabetes, you know, bone strength, you know, fucking muscles. I mean, it just does wonders for you. So I'm happy I did the work. I'm happy you guys supported me on it. And that's it, man. Sometimes we gotta do what we don't gotta do. this is going to have a positive result. I'm going to have an easier time on stage. You know, I was never having a hard time on stage. Just after I went back to after the 2 shows.
Oh, really? Over Joey?
2 hours of standing, I go back to my room.
How do I?
And I have to put my leg up with fucking ice. I didn't tell people that as I was going on. But, you know, this will be a lot better for me. So I'll be a lot better comic.
I know.
I'll be healthier. This will let me move more. Maybe start running again. You guys know I love to run. I haven't run since I got out of prison. I used to love to run. I used to do the 3Ks and shit in Boulder. You know I'm all about that shit. But now on a lighter note, something happened last night. I woke up in the middle of the night to a very, very, very disturbing fucking message. I had watched The King of Staten Island, you know, and I loved it. You know, I'm a big Pete Davidson fan. Pete's a great kid. And I watched Bill Burr, and fucking Bill Burr was great in that movie. I mean, I watched Bill grow over the years. It was just great to watch that movie. Every scene he was in, you know, and what's her name, the chick that plays the mother, I forget the name now, she made a comeback with the wrestler. She played Pete Davidson's mother in the movie. That lady won a fucking Oscar for fucking My Cousin Vinny, didn't she? Marissa Tomei. I think she won an Oscar. So here's a comic, a comedy store comic. Let's throw that in. Going up against Marissa Tomei, and you couldn't tell the fucking difference.
Dude, he's great in The Mandalorian.
Oh, he's great. I haven't watched The Mandalorian. You know, I don't like none of that outer space shit. But this shit was he fucking rocked my world so hard that I texted him and I put the phone down and I fell asleep. And I woke up like at fucking 2:30 in the morning, and I got a text back from him. Like he was happy to hear from me, which I was in shock. And I had a phone call missed, had a message from Redman telling me that Jeff Scott had died. For you people who don't know who Jeff Scott is, I know you've seen 1,000 things on Facebook and Twitter today. Jeff Scott was the piano player at the fucking Comedy Store. Great guy. I guess he died of a heart attack at 58, December 18th, or December, I don't know, how can it be December 18th? His birthday, he turned 58 December 18th or something like that. This is my tribute to Jeff. And I'm going to be honest with you guys about a lot of things in this conversation. Because whenever there's death, you got to have a little humor to it. Jeff was a great guy. Jeff caught HIV in the 80s. And I get to the Comedy Store. You know, when you get to the Comedy Store, you want to be friends with people. People ask you if you want to get high. Yeah, you know. And one day he came up to me. He goes, Joe, you want to get high? And I love Jeff. I'm like, yeah, Jeff, let's go. Let's get high. I didn't care. I didn't be gay or whatever. That had nothing to do with me. And we smoked a joint. After the joint, he looked at me. He goes, you know I got HIV, right? And I'm like, well, I was like ready to spit out of my mouth, but it didn't really, you know, I know I couldn't get HIV from smoking a joint with Jeff, but it was just weird that after we smoked the joint, you just happened to drop that bomb on me, but it made me love him more. This happened in 97, and it made me love him more. Jeff worked at the store, I think 6 nights a week. He watched every comic in that room. And he had been there for I don't know how many years, 25 years plus. He had seen everybody, you know. He pulled me aside when I came back to the Comedy Store in 2014. And after he saw my first set back, he pulled me aside. This is my secret to you guys. This is my Jeff Scott story to you guys. He pulled me aside. And he said that I had become a different comic than when I was there in 2007 and 2006. He goes, I want to do something different with you from now on. He goes, you're that badass of a comic. I want you to stick out this much. I want you to come out to music. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, but I want you to come out. He goes, I know you could dance. He goes, I've seen you dance. You could dance, you fat fuck. He goes, come out to the BT Express. Come on and do it. Do it till you're satisfied, right? So I'm like, are you serious? So whenever I would go up, that song would start. I don't know if you've ever heard that song. It's tremendous. I'm going to open up Tuesday morning with it today. I'm gonna open up. You're gonna hear the song this morning if you listen to my intro on Patreon. It's one out of respect for Jeff. I already used it a couple weeks ago, but I don't give a fuck. This is out of respect for Jeff. So that was our song. That was our song. And the song starts off like dum 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 dum. So somebody would go, come up to the stage, Joey Diaz, and you would hear gum dum 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 dum. And I would go up on stage and dance, and I would go, oh shit, some Harvey Weinstein music, and fucking they would go bananas. Jeff would laugh, I would laugh, and we'd have a great time. But it was Jeff who pulled me aside and he goes, you gotta come out to music and fucking come out fucking rocking and dancing. I was like, Jeff, if you tell me that, because Jeff knew the room. Jeff and I had been together since 97 in that room. And he'll talk to you after every set. He wasn't a comic. He was a Pee Wee Herman impersonator. And he was fantastic as a Pee Wee Herman impersonator. You ever been a fan of something? Have you ever been a fan? Like, I'm really ashamed of my life that I'm not a fan of anything. Like, when you go to the Florentines' house, they're a fan of the Miami Dolphins. They don't miss a game. When the team loses, they all fucking hurt. You know, it's like, fuck, they throw things. They're a true fan. They're a true fan of the Miami Dolphins. They love the Miami Dolphins, okay? I don't give a fuck who you're a fan of. That has nothing to do with me and our friendship. But Jeff Scott was a real fan of the Comedy Store. I don't know if I could explain that to you. He really enjoyed his job. He really enjoyed the comedians. And he really loved us. And every time I saw him, gay or not, I gave him a big fucking hug and I squeezed his ass sometime. You know me, I'm fucking crazy with gay guys. I would squeeze his ass and say, Jeff, your ass is getting too skinny. How you gonna get dick if you got that skinny little bony ass? And he would die of laughter or whatever. But Jeff was just a good guy. And every Tuesday I would go there a little early. And in between the 15 minutes, because all his job to do was, when I went up on stage, when I finished, and I'd go, come to the stage, this guy's been on Comedy Central. Mike Klein, he would play the music, like any like piano music, you know, like Liberace, and then you would go on stage, you know. So he would, in between that, he would get up and come outside and smoke pot and talk to the comics, and then he'd be on the time, he'd come tell me, there's 2 more before you, or 3 more before you, or 2 more before you, or what's his name canceled. But that's what I remember from Jeff, man, that he was a sweet guy. And I went online today and I saw so many fucking people mention him, and I mean, he meant a lot to a lot of people. I've never met anybody that had a rude word about Jeff, or the guy that works in the main room, I forget his name, but I've been with him there for 20 years, the sound guy in the main room has always been a sweetheart. I mean, I look at the Comedy Store now, and I'm like, every day, between you and I lost hope. I don't think it'll ever open again, and I'm happy we went out on top. We went out on top. There's no two ways about it. When we got out of that store February 3rd, whenever they closed it, March 15th, have no mistakes. We were the best guy in the fucking country, and I was proud of it. And Jeff completed that family. Just because he played the piano, nobody looked down on him. If you ever said anything to Jeff, I think you'd have 8 guys on top of you punching the fuck out of you. And I know me and Rogan would be 2 of those fucking guys, because that's how much we love Jeff. Jeff was that special. I can't even imagine doing comedy now with another different piano player, because he was there. He was my comfort. You know when these idiots get on a plane with a fucking chihuahua with one eye that's big, like a tooth missing? He's my comfort animal. Comfort? That's the ugliest fucking animal I've ever seen in your life. You can only bring comfort to a witch, that fucking thing. He brought comfort to us. Yeah, he brought comfort to us as a comic. So now I look at the store and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is really not going to happen, because he was the fucking heart and soul of that place. I mean, I don't give a fuck what anybody tells you. Bill Burr was a big part of it. Ali Wong was a big part of it. Rogan, thank God, you know. DeLee in his heyday, a lot of people came to see him, you know. But Jeff Scott made it all fit. I don't know if I could explain that to you. When I go to other comedy clubs in the country, that's just a DJ. And that's what the kid does. And 9 out of 10, no disrespect to any of you guys, you're as dumb as fuck. If Joey Diaz is a white audience, why are you playing Earth, Wind, and Fire? You know what I'm saying? Because they're so used to many African-American actors. I'm not ashamed or pissed off at or anything. But they would not switch. They don't even have common sense. You know, you see a bunch of white people coming in for fucking John Mulaney, and they got like the worst rap music on in the back, like, give me your tits, give me your tits.
That's you.
Yeah, no. Sometimes they come to me and they're like, and I would tell them after the first night, knock it off. All Sabbath as they're getting sat down.
Yeah.
As they're sitting down, it's Sabbath, Aerosmith, Leonard Skinner. None of that fucking why you shit. No fucking reggaeton. Don't get me in a bad fucking mood. That reggaeton shit drives me. Well, that shit drives me fucking crazy. It drives me fucking crazy. But no, I don't. This death really fucked a lot of people up today. I've gotten over 20 calls on it today. People that have been gone from the store for 10 years and over called today. One guy called crying. A dear friend of mine, he moved back to Boston 10, 12 years ago. He was like, Jeff used to give me piano lessons. I used to go to his house and he'd give me piano lessons for $20 an hour and shit like that. Jeff helped so many of us that it was mind-boggling, man. So, you know, I love Peter Shaw. You know, I love the store. I love everything about it. But this is just one more step of me telling me the store will never come back, because he was such an integral part of that fucking place. I don't know if anybody else could ever take over those shows. They had another piano guy who was a cool guy. He was kind of a pain in the ass. This guy, I'll tell you what he did one time, hysterical. You know, you could tell the guy was in need of a pussy, right? So what did he do? He went for the Pussy 101 manual. He went and adopted a dog, because you know when you adopt a dog, women will talk to you. Oh, it's so kind of you. You saved the dog. He saved the ugliest
I'm off
dog
chat
you ever
right
seen
now
in
on
your
Facebook.
fucking life.
The only place
I remember pulling them over one night and going, let me talk to you about something. You haven't gotten pussy in 2 years.
You could chat.
You got a chance to save a good dog.
To
You saved the ugliest fucking dog in the world, and now no chicks want to talk to you, you dumb fuck. He only worked on Sunday nights. So I only had to put him on Sundays or Mondays. I forget. He worked on an off night. Jeff worked all the other nights. But what I'm trying to say is rest in peace, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you for all those late nights, for being there till 2:30 in the morning. Thank you for fucking recommending that music to me. I mean, and I look at it and I go, why BT Express? I mean, I love the song. I fucking grew up on that jam. Come on and do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is. That's a fucking jam. I go, what makes you think of this song? He goes, I don't know. I heard it the other day and I just thought about you. I thought that you would come out and kill to it. So rest in peace, Jeff Scott. All your years and all your service were appreciated, especially by me. There was a lot of nights I walked in there and I had my anxiety. I had all my other problems going on, and just seeing your kind smile and giving me a hug and me grabbing your ass would be worth the trip. If any fellow comics watch this, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, what Jeff meant to us. So thank you, Jeff Scott. Rest in peace, and say hello to Mitzi for me. And I'm sure with this shitty heart, I'll see you in a couple of years and shit. If I fucking don't keep lifting weights. And that's it, and that's that, brothers and sisters. My leg's starting to hurt. So thank you very much for being patient with me. You know, I'm waiting on Ozzy's Boneyard date still. Thank you for supporting me. You guys fucking... They played the show 10 times because of you motherfuckers. They were supposed to play it 5 times. That's how much support you motherfuckers gave me. So, I don't know what to tell you motherfuckers.
Personally,
the lunch table, man. That was the worst there. Until they had milk spray out of the nose.
Live TV from 85 plus channels with local sports and news. YouTube TV. Try it free.
That's when I would leave. And it'd always be the bell will ring, everybody would be back in class, and one motherfucker would just keep listening for some reason. I would just hold him by his fucking arms across the table and keep telling him shit until it fucking sprayed out of his nose. And then I would leave, dude. You know, they had the first wigger I ever met was from our town, bro. I think the first wig I ever met, this kid named Brian St. Pierre, bro. And they put him in class.
He was a white dude that was trying to be black.
Yeah, he was a white dude.
Where did he move from?
Oh, fuck, nowhere, bro. He fucking just, you know, he was raised like, kind of like, you know, he was like Mowgli, you know, like he was just fucking spent a little bit of time on the other side of town, you know, and the brothers really got a hold of him. And he was cool, though. He was a cool dude, man.
Mowgli.
He was, bro. He was like a Mowgli, you know?
My whole body just shook. I thought it was an earthquake.
He was fucking down. That's the end of yoga, bro. That's the end of yoga. But look, man, they put him in the fucking mentally handicapped class, bro, because they'd never seen it before. They'd never seen it before. They put him in class with kids with Down syndrome, with kids in wheelchairs. They put him.
What? This is a dude who had like couldn't he just look at guys and look at the sweat?
I don't even know what the fuck he's saying right now. He's not like him right now. They probably put you in that class.
Oh, leave me in, dude.
You don't even know what he's saying. You like that fucking. You like
Wigger in the recording class.
That's what you sounded. That's what that dude sounded like. $100 today. You know, the president? Shit. I'm over here, you know.
Before we started, Lee, I think he was hearing a buzzing in the mic.
Oh, God, people, we started late. Because Lee was looking around the room like.
And now he's making a buzzing in the mic.
Listen to him. He's a walking buzz over here. Oh. When I was 19, I was in the movies with Louis Castellino and this dude Kurt DiLorenzo. It was the night after AC/DC at the Palladium. It was like summer of 1980.
Yeah.
It was right after AC/DC came back. So it was a Saturday night.
Right.
We were going to the movies to watch. I have no idea. And on the way back, me and Castellino gave each other a look. And Kurt kept saying, I hear something. Because the night before we did acid and blow. And throughout the whole night, he kept saying, I keep hearing my ears ring. You know, if you're fucking 16 and you do a gram of blow and hit a fucking mic without acid. Listen, him and I did. We stopped. One of the most awkward people. I grew up in a cocaine culture. So I knew when people were doing it. My mom's hand would stick close to the dick.
Yeah, a little T-Rex.
What's a little T-Rex? And my mom was one of those. Like he thought it belonged to somebody else and shit. Right? So I knew the hand movement. When I was 16, I had a job at Rendell Lumber. And there was a guy there who blew my fucking mind. There was a tip of my tongue. Now I forgot the fucking guy's name.
Who was on the I forgot what I was talking
It really don't matter. The guy was an Irish dude, really nice guy. But once he did one line of coke, every inhibition, every physical strength he had was dissolved.
That's when Joey took advantage of it.
Like duck faces in his hand. His name is Jack Finn.
Jack Finn.
I'll never forget the one day
Jack Finn, bro.
He walked in
He
the
started
way.
fucking swimming in
Oh
his
my
own
God,
tank,
he was fucked up on a Saturday. And he walks into work. I'm 16. He walks into work all fucked up. That's the first time I heard that expression. He goes, boss, let me get 100 on the arm till Monday.
On the arm.
Boss, listen, my arms are heavy, and walked away. I'll never forget.
Wow.
Jack Finn was a fiend.
Coke?
Yeah. But once he started, the
brother.
word on the street was, Jack Finn is tremendous until alcohol hits his tongue.
Right.
Then it's different. You should have seen it. And he was tremendous. He'd give you money when he was drunk. He was a great guy. But just to see the transformation. But Jack Finn had something else. Jack Finn hung out a dirty bar in Weehawken, which is...
Weehawken sounds fucking. They got some gutter pussy.
Weehawken. They got some dirty butts down Weehawken.
Started breaking those stones.
Wow.
The people that hung in Weehawken were fucking savages. Yeah. And they sold this cocaine. They're just looking at it. fucked with your eyes. And I had done
Pussy
that
that needs
twice.
Drano out there.
The night AC/DC came back to the palladium.
Oh, we used to sell hamsters at the AC/DC shows. Full circle.
We just out here.
Sorry.
Fucking had the AC. This is when Bon Scott died and Brian Johnson joined the band. This is how old I am. This was fucking huge. Me and Kurt were walking into the city and we go, where are we going to get coke? We were going to take a bus from Union City, New Jersey. We go, let's take a cab down to Weehawken. And we saw Jack Finn. And for $50, he gave us a bottle. And when we got out of there, we got back on the cab. We made the cab wait for us. And in the cab, we did little bumps of coke. This is when it came to the bottle with a spoon.
Yeah.
Woo! There was not a gram in there. There had to be like 9/10 of a gram.
Right.
Me and Kurt kept doing it. And it was August 2nd, 1980. And it had to be 95. What's the temperature? 95 degrees, but 100% humidity in New York City.
Right.
And I'll never forget, I had Lee jeans on with a white T-shirt and sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first time ever that, even after the fact that I got home,
You thought you might be?
no, my pants were drenched and my socks were drenched from my sweat.
Wow.
Like, I had
Dude
sweat
peed on
so
himself.
much,
Like,
it
come on, Joe, you peed on
jumped
yourself.
up and down so much.
Yeah.
Me and
It's a good
Kurt,
feeling.
Then in the concert, me and Kurt popped the acid, and we had like vodka and Gatorade. We were drinking it.
Well, how old were you guys?
16.
Okay.
16, 17 times. We're fucking lit.
Yeah.
We got out of the concert, we still got half that bottle blow.
Yeah.
We're on the train, we're on whatever, the train back to
you
the
guys are fucked.
We're doing bumps.
You guys are a couple of
So we didn't finish the gram. Kurt went home, I went to wherever I was living. Next one I wake up, there's coke. I'm fucked up. So the next day, it's a light night.
Right.
In those days, that was called a light night. That was a Friday night or whatever. Yeah, it was a Friday night, so Saturday. Let's go to the movies. So let's go to the movies.
Yeah.
So we went to the movies. But that whole day, Kurt kept saying, look, my ears are still ringing from the blow last night. That's how good that coke was. So we went to here's the whole day passes. That morning he said it. But the whole day passes. We're at a movie now. We walk out at 11 o'clock at night. I'll never forget it was raining. And we were walking back down from Fairview, New Jersey into North Bergen. It's fucking raining. And Kurt kept saying, guys, my ears are still ringing. And all of a sudden I look at Digger, and Digger looks at me, and we play it. And we're like, I hear some ringing too. So Kurt looks at me, and I'm like, yeah, I hear some ringing. I hear some ringing. I fucking sold it. You know what he does.
Yeah.
I fucking hear it. I can't believe it. And Kurt's like, you guys hear it? This ain't me. What the fuck? And there was a pothole. There was a pothole like 8 feet away. It just rained. There was gutter water that Kurt ran over, took that pothole water, and started splashing in his face. And he's like, okay, I'm good now. You guys still hear the ring? I'm like, we fucking hear it. He just took off with that puddle water on his face.
No way, dude.
Oh my
Did
God.
you ever see him again?
Yeah, the next day.
Oh,
He just died 6 months ago.
Oh, man.
He bought a Subway sandwich outside, opened it, and killed the whole thing. He didn't even eat the sandwich. He just looked at it and killed it.
That Subway
That's how he
died.
died?
That's the truth.
He just bought a Subway sandwich and he ran out.
He walked outside.
You guys missed the quiz, though.
I'm telling you, though. That Subway, that should have killed a motherfucker.
Kill you.
I've been telling Lee for years. One day he's like, you know, man,
Turn you into a pedophile.
Lee,
Somebody fucked you up.
I thought about you said that. And I think you're right. Those people have no respect. The bread. I had a guy who worked at Subway told me he was in there twice a day, every fucking day at attention, dog.
Damn.
That's how loyal. This motherfucker had a loyalty card.
Damn, bro.
He knew the Mexicans in the handicap. That chick that don't lift the right hand because got hit by a car. He won't fuck. He knew her name. He knew her.
And the shifts. They got a one-handed. You knew their shifts?
Oh, he knew shifts. He knew who gave me more letters.
Jesus fucking Christ.
He knew who I'm telling you. He was like the fucking coach system, man.
Wow, bro. That's crazy.
Lorenzo in real life died fucking 6 months ago.
Let me get you some ravioli.
Like everybody, it was
right there.
Yeah. He bought a Subway sandwich. How they knew was they had to get the cameras from the Subway sandwich. And they saw him sit down, open it up. He smelled that motherfucker. kicked in the bucket.
Your dear friend. What, Taylor?
He's your dear friend. And he kicked him up.
Yeah. It's sad, man. Dude,
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace for sure, man. First concert I ever went to. This pedophile took us, right? I'm not even joking, dude. Rest in peace, he's dead. This dude, Richard Langenstein, bro. His family owned a fucking deli, dude. Over in New Orleans, famous
How did he bring you to a concert?
Yeah, bro.
He's gonna tell you.
Me and my little girlfriend at the time, Jessica, we met him at church, right? Because he was, I guess he was daylighting as a decent person, right? So we met him at church, okay? So I was like, hey, you know, that's, and they called him Big Richard, bro, because he was big and he had all the fucking, you know, his skin was scabbing up, he had different colors on his arms. And we're like, you know, the fucking Lord's leopard print was fucking coming out of him, right?
Oh my God.
So we went over to his house, like, let's go to his house and take him some cookies on Sunday and watch the Saints game with him, right?
No, we should have ate that second step.
No. Oh, yeah. I'm crying.
Oh, my God.
I'm crying. I have no words.
I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, look, I'm amazed.
I just want to let you know I'm fucked up to the gills. There's a lot of nights I can't even fuck. I walk out of here, he's all fucked up, and I don't get it. Tonight is my God's punishment. I'm fucked up. I should not even say that.
Okay,
that shit was growing fucking cow shit. I just still taste it in my mouth. I'm still on the Listerine 2 times.
So we went over to the dude's house, right? We took some cookies over there, watched the Saints game. Then he started substitute teaching at the school I was going to, you know? Big Richard. Big Richard. And the kid listened.
I'm going with my buddy to cuddle with his old man at once.
Well, I told the guy, like, my parents was, out of the picture, I told the girl's parents, like, she was there, the mother was there, we met him at church. I'm like, yeah, that's sweet of y'all. Go over there and
watch. Substitute after school.
Yes, he started substituting after school. I didn't realize it at the time. Like, now I realize it's ironic the dude starts fucking subbing, because I'll be honest, I was a handsome kid. You know? The dude starts subbing, I had fucking long hair, beautiful hair, fucking strong in the fucking, you know, fucking chest and shoulders like a fucking, like the strongest French bulldog you ever seen, right? So, we go over to his house. Then the next time I see him at substitute at the school, then he's like, yeah, come back over. I'm like, my girl can't come. He's like, oh, just come over, watch the Saints game, right? I come over, he breaks out a little bit of herb, right? Gets me high, right? So then the next couple times I start bringing my friends over there, dude. He starts fucking like getting us all stoned, and everybody was smoking out of apples, and we're doing all kinds of fancy stunts, you know, just fucking herb stunts. You know, my buddy Scott, my buddy Glenn, we're over there herbing up with Big Richard, you know. And we kind of, you smoke a little extra with him because you think he might die, you know. He's older, he's in his 80s, you know.
He's in his 80s?
And he's still perverting?
Yeah, bro.
He'll be over 80 and still be perverting.
You gotta respect the game.
This is way before my age. This guy got dick. He just saw an ice cream truck. He got hard. You know what I'm saying?
He just wanted the kid to look at his
How
dick.
the fuck are you 80 and still perverting?
So he was out there PVing, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? So one time, dude, and I'll tell you how we found out that he was a pervert, right? We didn't.
Tell me.
It didn't catch on with us, right? So we fucking dumb, dude. I'm so gullible, bro. I could have been molested a million times. Like, I'm gonna tell this. Molesters, if you're out there, bro, do you have so many fans? I'm sure you get about 30 fucking child molester fans. Statistically, bro. Statistically, dude. Put QB in here. Statistically, bro. You probably got 30 fans of the child molesters. You missed your chance. I'm gonna say that. You missed your fucking chance with this kid Dynamite, dude. Because I was gullible, bro. And I was a good kid. And I was strong, bro. Handsome, long hair. But anyway. Well, fuck. Joey's calling to me. Joey fucking left, bro. You want to finish telling you, Lee? What's up? Oh, you don't even know? You want to finish telling me the story or not?
Go for it, boy.
Give me a update so you even know what the story was about. Do you know?
I knew a second ago, but no.
keep going with from where you told it.
Okay.
People.
All right, so the child molester, bro. We didn't know. We didn't know. We just thought he was an 80-year-old man.
So he had like a full career.
Yes, dude. Like in our town, you can be 80 and still substitute teach, I guess, right?
So that's not like. What that? You just left?
My piece coming out fucking green.
Oh, my fucking dick feels all red up.
Oh. How's your dick got to do with it? You know, Lee, we're gonna have to do heroin on this show.
No, that's right.
Not tonight, though, man.
Not tonight.
Okay, good.
Because
I'm gullible.
We're gonna have to get a guest and a down.
Okay, yeah.
That'll be like that'll be
unless y'all have never done it, I might do it with y'all. First time.
I did it when I was locked up.
Oh, you done it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but never with a needle. Like I'm a pusher, I would never do it with a needle. But now I can handle it with a needle. I'll put Santana on the iTunes and look the other way on the iPod and look the other way. This is a little black chick down at Bob Hope. That chick, you don't even feel it. Taking the blood, you know.
Damn.
Oh, she's
Bob
tremendous.
Hope Airport or hospital? I'm serious.
Fucking that.
Okay.
Oh my God,
dude! Can I
when I walk in there and the Bob Hope, when I do a physical or whatever, I always see her and I get happy because I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
she's been the.
She's a champ, huh?
There's a little Filipino chick up here, up at this one up here in the valley, fucking Martin St. Laurent, whatever the hospital is over here, right there by the Boston Market. I don't know the fucking name. I'm just saying, they always give names to all the hospitals. Like,
oh yeah. Like, who gives a fuck? Straight hospital on the side.
I just want to know why you're going to the death.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to go drive me to
perfume name. I don't think there's a hospital name. Martin St. Laurent.
It is a fucking perfume.
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
Beautiful.
Who do I look like? I'm sophisticated? I'm not sophisticated, dude.
I'm not. But here, I just want to at least let everybody know that the pedophile died. I don't want people thinking that
he was 80. I couldn't even see him. 90 is so pedophile. Jesus Christ. A 90-year-old pedophile. Somebody has not been doing a fucking job.
He took us to a Marilyn Manson concert, my first concert of
How old is
Manson.
he?
He was probably about 82, right? We were 14, bro. He takes us to Manson or 15. But I remember being in a bathroom, me and my buddy Scott, and somebody's like, how old is those kids? And somebody else is like, oh, they're fucking like 13. And I remember the guy going, oh, somebody's going to fuck them. That's what the dude said, bro. In the bathroom, an adult. We're just like, what? Dude, and then we were back in the audience.
Just to say that. Yeah. Not even go home and go, what happened to those two kids? How did they get fucked? You know,
what fucking
you know, you did in bed that night. You know, I'm going to say my prayers. How do you say prayers? Don't you say what happened to those two kids? They might be getting fucked right now. Nobody intervened.
Oh. What fucking savage would say that to some kids? What a heartless fucking Muppet monster.
What about the parents? Like, what was it just like free babysitting?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, how? Where were the parents?
His parents were at home watching daytime television. He's 14. He told me he was going to the library to do a fucking book report. And the girl told her parents the same thing. But they already had it worked out with this 82-year-old pedophile. We'll go to the Marilyn Manson concert, and after the concert, we'll see what happens.
What did he dress like, dude? Did he dress like an old man, or did he dress like
No, he dressed like fucking Tom Jones.
What does he look like he's dressed like in your vision of him?
Like, it was either like an old man with like khakis and a brown belt.
What difference would it make? What difference would it make? He fucking do. He can't disguise.
Who are you? You're the fucking top 4 of pedophiles? You give a fuck?
He's the profile of pedophiles.
You care what pedophiles wear?
What are 82? Yeah.
82.
And they're going to Marilyn Manson concerts. Like, I know you wear like the jeans and the shirt, like the Marilyn Manson shirt, and then try to rock out in 82.
What, dude? What are you fucking saying? I'm not blaming it on you, bro. I am fucking lit, bro. Inside out, fucking Asian Americans. Right there. Fucking Coco.
What's the matter, Lee? It's a beautiful fucking night to be alive, people. This is it.
That's all
what you do. You can sit there and go, I owe this guy 800. I owe this guy. Oh, you can fucking giggle your way.
Yeah, it's true, dude.
Fuck.
You owe everybody.
Fucking million I sat there for years wasting my time. Laying there, wasting your time. And at the end, they ain't gonna do dick.
What changed it for you, man? Because I literally felt like I spent the last.
I still fucking sit there at night like a momo. You know, listen, man, it's a DNA thing with me. You know, I'm the type of guy. If I go out before I come home, I drive by Lee's. You know, or I drive by Felicia's. Anybody in my Burt Kreischer's just to make sure the house is not on fire.
Yeah.
It's not like I knock on the door and go, "Hey, Joey's out here patrolling the area."
Right.
No, I just drive.
Joey's out here fucking facial moisturizer. Fuck no. I'll be honest, bro. I use fucking facial moisturizer, bro. I'll admit some shit, dude. I'll get some shit off my chest. I use facial moisturizer, bro. What else, dude? I fucking wet the bed till I was 28.
I still wet the bed.
Yeah, you got never mind.
Not every week.
Yeah, not every week, like a fucking muppet. I did like a fucking Bichon.
Once a year, pee in the bed, you know, fucking let it go. Let the
hose
go.
Yeah, once a year I said, this ain't for you, toilet. No, fucking keep it for myself, son.
I did it until like middle school.
You did?
Yeah, it was tough. It was sucked because like you can't control it.
That is true. You can't control it. And other kids, like you can't go sleep at other kids' houses.
So you gotta sit there like a fucking mother.
You gotta
come to summer camp. I can't.
Yeah, you can't.
You gotta bring special sheets.
Yeah, you sure.
I used to have to bring special sheets when I went to Sacred Heart. Damn. I used to have those special, the one that they put under the sheet, like a fucking rubber, like a baby.
And it sounded, when you got on the bed, it sounded like fucking...
Yeah, like young grandma's friend. This shit sounds like it's gonna break.
Dude, they used to have a buzzer. Did they ever give you that? The buzzer, if it got wet, it would go off and wake you up?
No.
They had these buzzer underwear in the early 90s or late 80s. And I remember they gave them to me. If it buzzed and it went off, it would wake you up. And you go back.
Electrocution?
Yeah, no, it was a bad idea for sure. I'm sure some fucking retard.
The second stem we ate. That was
dude, yeah, I gotta fucking be on stage in a little while.
Yeah, you might as well call up now.
You think?
Yeah, you ain't driving.
You know, but I didn't smoke any weed though.
Doesn't matter. That shit lies to you. Mushrooms lie to you. All those psilocybin mushrooms, acid, they lie to you. Like, I just got a good laugh. You get in the car, you start that motherfucker, all of a sudden you get that second rush.
Yeah.
This is deadly shit. It just comes at you like a wave.
Yeah.
We might as well. We got some weed. We got some record players. That's it. Listen to music, fucking get stoned. I didn't bring enough weed. So Lee never fucking wants to get high, so I just brought a little canister full. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I'll tell you, the child molester, let me just at least, yeah, he died in prison, everybody, so I don't know people.
So he did get arrested at the end.
Well, yeah, here's how we knew, finally. One time we went and got steaks with us, and my buddy was in the kitchen. I was in the kitchen.
I know the good one's coming.
I was in the kitchen, and my buddy was sitting in the living room with him. And I yelled back in the living room, I said, hey, Big Richard. You know, that's what his name was. I said, do you have any sour cream? And my buddy Scott, who's sitting with him, yells back, no, but you can have some of this sweet cream, right? And then I hear Big Richard, who's sitting next to my buddy, say to him, can I have some? That's what he said, and that's when it all changed in our heads. Like, he's not just a friendly older dude buying us steaks and smoking us out. Yeah. He's a fucking madman. It's got that fucking, whose goose is loose, and he's looking to fucking touch some young junk. He wants to feel that fucking young fucking pump in his hands again. You know?
Goose is loose.
So, anyway.
You know, I sit here in front of you like a man. I tell you that I was in front. I grew up around some fucked up people.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know till years later, you know, like now, how they died in prison. But I grew up around some fucked up people. Like, my mom took chances with me being in that bar.
Yeah.
She took a big chance with me. When I was a kid, she told me, I don't like you in that fucking bar. Because any night, shit's going to happen in that bar. When I was young, I saw the gay guy, Martin, pull a gun on not doing his brother and that. Like in the afternoon, like at 2 in the afternoon, over the word Miko, over the word faggot in Spanish.
The gay fella pulled a gun?
Oh, tremendous gay fella. Tremendous. And then that was that. And then another night there was an incident where 2 guys pulled a gun. And I was in there. I must have been about 11. And after that, my mom said, you know what, man? That's it. No more of the bar shit. But it was my world. It was my little fucking world. That little stock office in the back was me. The area was me. Yeah. Is that you, Lee? Buzzing, fucking snoring over there.
Somebody's house.
I'm thinking like it's like my emphysema, and it's fucking Lee. I'm like, fuck, my emphysema is acting up. It's fucking Lee over there, passed out, snoring up a storm.
Lifted like I'm fucking dude.
I know what I see it sometimes. That's what I think about at night. Like these fucking guys that was around. And not once was I asked to touch somebody's dick. Like I read some of this testimony. Yeah. And my heart stops.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't come from this world, not at all. Like not at all. One time in the 8th grade, I fucking got in some guy's car. And his hands slipped and he touched me. I think about, you know, not
was it an accident?
No, it was purposely. He touched my dick on the way up just to see my reaction. And if I was meek, he would have attacked.
Wow.
After the light, the door opened, and I just ran out of there with the basketball. And it's so weird. I've been thinking about this topic because now I have a child, and you have to watch him. You know, and I was talking to my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law is the sweetest person in the world.
She got blasted?
No, she told me one day, we were talking, she goes, listen, do me a favor. Now that you have a child, I just want you to know something, trust nobody.
Wow.
Like, you don't watch those people do surprise attacks, don't trust nobody with your kid. Yeah, and you have to. Yeah. And she's a Christian chick, don't curse, don't drink, don't smoke dope. You know, this isn't like a paranoid individual. She raised her daughter. And I know there was issues one time, and there was issues with a guy at the church that was a pastor. You know?
Why do you think they go to the church, man? This is a safe place, huh? They probably go to church because honestly, they probably feel like they really need God. They just don't want. I mean,
why do people keep bringing their children to Michael Jackson? Even after, it's like the people who got up. I was those people. Hey, folks, not for nothing. You can't smoke coke. You're gonna die. And we kept smoking coke. Anybody, you can't keep smoking cigarettes. We keep smoking cigarettes. Dog, you can't go on to McDonald's and eat cheeseburgers. But we love it. That's one thing. But for you to bring a child
CHILD
to somebody that you know is a fucking pervert to give you $2 million.
That's fucking crazy.
For years,
those people should be burned, man. I say burn them, bro.
Dog, for years, I lived with a woman that grew up in a cult. And the fucking stories were beyond belief. I mean, I got some stories that are beyond belief if you want to get down and really get down. But why go there?
Right.
There's no reason to go there.
Yeah, that's why I mean...
What this girl told me made me hate her parents. Because, again, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a fuck about what you do. But for you to drag your kid down the dark cave... What's up, man?
That's fucked up.
What's going on, buddy? You all right? You all right over there? You want to go outside and get some air?
Okay.
Tell me the truth. You want to go outside and get some air? Let me do some fucking calling. Let's see, and we'll wrap this motherfucker. He's feeling fucked up. No, don't start. Let him get electrocuted. It's all right. We need somebody to get electrocuted on the show.
I got electrocuted when I was younger, man. Actually, you know what saved me, bro? It's a brother saved me, man. And I don't know if you're out there.
Will you stop already? You got electrocuted.
Yeah, the fair. They used to let us come in a day early to the fair and test the rides. We didn't know. We didn't know we were getting paid. 30 cents to get on the ride. Please on the ones and twos now. Like a fucking... You look like a fucking M&M. I'm not afraid. Damn. Machine gun killer.
You want some mad dog? Is it time for you to get some mail? Lee, we don't give a fuck.
The fucking can hit Lee.
Yeah, you get up. You need help to get up and go get some man. You're not gonna vomit on the fucking table.
Oh, okay.
The can hit Lee, man.
Lee finally said, fuck it. We went out 3 nights in a row. He had me doing mushrooms on a Monday night. My main man, the Australian warrior, Horse Warrior, my man Conrad LeClaire, Burning Sage, Parish Mickey, Pearly Sweet Cake, Bobby and Crystal, my main people in Austin representing.
Amen.
Freddie Correa over there, fucking comic of the year in Vegas. Lance Armist Trout, my dog, and my fucking band, Hero Jr., making it fucking happen.
Rest in peace, man.
They're bad motherfuckers.
Oh, they died? People who died, bro.
It's called out. These people that died, they're still alive and kicking. They can't call them out. If they were dead, I wouldn't give 2 Frenchmen a fuck. Lee, how you feeling? You need some air? You need some water? Huh? Talk to me.
I'm fine. I'm good.
Don't keep telling me you're fine, though.
Can I throw my dates in? Huh? Throw my dates? Can I throw my dates in?
You can do whatever you want. Hold on, hand close.
Oh, fuck. My bad, man. I'm fucked up, dude.
No, fuck that. Never say that, man. You're a great guest. You made me fucking die laughter here. To see you late tonight is a fucking the way to end the month. This is a true fucking Labor Day, whatever the fuck it is. What is this? Memorial Day. Memorial Day. It's a week of soldiers, yes. You gotta block the fucking flag if you're a fucking soldier and shit. And represent these motherfuckers who get on a plane and go stab people who are fucking creepy.
They're warriors, dude. I could never do that.
You really do. You think about
never
it
do
at
that.
a time. You have to take a minute.
I could stab somebody.
Fucking, you know, listen, dog. That's the problem. Everyone has to wear a suit or a fucking flag on their lapel. That's all bullshit.
Amen.
It's 10 minutes of your time when you're on the balcony smoking a joint. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at the fucking freedoms that I have.
Yeah.
Look at the freedoms that I have right now. I'm not doing dick.
Yeah.
There's a dude right now who's smoking a joint over there in war zone. It's because for the last 16 hours, he's been getting hit with fucking shrapnel and body parts and smelling fucking people getting lit on fire.
Yeah.
And here I am complaining because I gotta get up in 4 hours. Ain't that a fucking bitch? You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So you always gotta think that's the real Memorial Day. It's not another fucking barbecue and you know, gotta look at the wall, make believe, give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just realizing what happened and Jesus Christ. That's the biggest thing is realization.
Yes.
Getting on a fucking plane and going over to a foreign place and people talking in a fucked up language and then they're trying to attack you. You don't know who's who. They all look like Lee Sayat. You're like, what the fuck is going on in my world? You know
they don't know. You want to fuck them.
So this Netflix special, you're doing well with it.
Yeah,
it's great numbers. People really like it.
I feel like
people.
I think people like it. But you just don't know. It just inspired me. It gives you a chance. I know you know putting out a special album, you get to see yourself a little bit. It gives you a chance to step away from that. And now, for the first time, I feel like people recognize me as a comedian. I have fans for the first time. And so I feel like that's like a blessing. I didn't really realize it before. I thought I had a million fans. It's just a lot that's in your head. But now I feel like I have real fans who like want to know what's going on. Like I have people that are excited I was coming here today. And so that's good, man. That shit made me feel fucking human, dude. You know?
Poor Lee. He's having a hard fucking time.
He's beautiful, though. He's beautiful. He's got the fucking Lord running through his veins. I love that, bro. That's Christ. That's Christ reaching for him. You can see that.
If you've been with the podcast since day one,
you can see that.
Lee is the fucking man. And tonight, we finally fucking...
Lee.
I can see it. I can see it. After this podcast goes, you have no idea. Because I'm the motherfucker who sees him an hour after this. And sees how funny Lee is. And he'll pass out right in front of you.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn the lights on, Black Sabbath on. He'll come to life every like 8 minutes. And Shane's out and get scared.
That's the crazy part. Some people were like, that's fucked up. But to be brave enough to just let yourself go like that and relax like that, that's a beauty that I fucking don't have. But I wish I had, man. You know? He's looking for fucking Easter baskets, bro. You know? That's beautiful, dude. When you fucking just lift out and start looking for Easter baskets, bro. You know? When you feel like the fucking brothers ain't chasing you anymore. Like, I'll be honest with you, dude. 90% of my day.
He's thinking about brothers chasing.
Yeah. I feel like they got fucking brothers only 2 blocks over.
Leave the brothers alone, will you? Leave the brothers alone. They ain't bothering nobody. They ain't chasing nobody.
I know they're not. I'm just saying. That's what I just think in my head. You want me to share?
No, I have the same problem for you.
Okay, well,
and it just wasn't brothers. I had 15 different people chasing me. I'm the real fucking deal. I had Czechoslovakians. I had countries you never even heard of and shit. People chasing me. Lee, wake up! You need some fucking hay. You want another star to balance you out? What do we need here?
I don't need another star to balance me out.
That's what you need, some pH. The star I got. See,
I don't think about pHs.
Listen, pH 1 is a beautiful thing. What we do is, he's got special stars that have a special pH to bring you back to life.
I feel like a fucking Christmas traveler right now.
I'm telling you, dog, this is the way to do it on a fucking Thursday night.
It really is.
Sitting around with your little fucking buddies. All right,
2 cents, fucking Coco Diaz, we did it.
Bam!
I'll be in Cleveland next weekend.
At Hilarious.
Nope, I'm actually at the Hard Rock Casino.
Look at you, right downtown in the middle of everything.
Hard Rock
Bitch out of the
Casino.
motherfuckers.
So I'm looking forward to that. That's Friday through Sunday in Cleveland. The week after that.
Leaving the paper. And then where you at?
The week after that. 'Cause it's already the end of May, you know that, Joey?
No shit, I'm thinking about the same fucking thing. I'm already thinking about June 1st.
Damn.
Right? Because I got no business till June 8th.
Yeah, I'm at the Hard Rock Casino in Cleveland. It's actually in the burbs, man. Hard Rock Casino in Cleveland, Northfield, it's called. June 3rd through the 5th. And then I'm at Punchline in Atlanta, June 9th through the 12th. You can catch me on Doug Benson's podcast. I'll be on his podcast there, too. I think they're taping that there. Then I'm going to the beach with my family. We'll be down there in fucking St. Joe's. I don't know if it's Alabama or Florida. It's going to be fucked up. I'll be vlogging a little bit of that. I dropped a vlog on YouTube. You can check it out. It's called This Past Weekend. And I'll be with my family. And then that's it, man. I'm just saying crazy shit. I'm so fucked up. In July, I'll be in.
You're like, man, next May I'm gonna be at the barbecue.
I'll be eating pizza.
At least.
I'm just going to my calendar.
Jesus Christ. In 2 days, he whips up the webpage. He starts dropping the dates in 2018. He's doing a tour Bobby show in 2018.
I'll be giving him blood.
And this other bull fucking zombo. Look at some hair already, you fuck. You're gonna sit there, like a bullet who's been shot.
Hey, but look, in typical Memorial Day fashion, we ain't leaving this fucking soldier. We ain't fucking leaving this wounded warrior, man. And just thank you guys so much for having me.
Wounded warriors, you see those people ripping themselves up.
I love it.
Dog, I hate fucking those people. I hate all those fucking fake foundations.
Oh, all those fake foundations, man. Yeah. It is sad when people do that kind of shit.
Anyway, why drag a dog in here?
You want to give you money, bro? Give your money to your fucking neighbor. Find somebody who you know in person that fucking
A black dude at 7-Eleven ain't bothering nobody.
There you go.
First one at the door who's polite, all right?
There you go. First one at the door is polite. And I will be at that barbecue.
I ain't mad at you.
No, I know you're not.
Let's do this shit. All right, please. Hold on one second. It's the church of what's happening now. Listen, you're unique. You don't walk like anybody. You don't talk like anybody. You don't sleep like anybody. So why is your mattress one size fits all? Because a custom mattress will cost you $5,000 to $10,000.
Wow.
Until now. Introducing Helix Sleep, where you can buy mattresses online, customized for you, for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. You follow me? You go to helix.com right now, you answer a few simple questions based on 4 key preferences, and the result will be a custom sleep profile used to build you the most comfortable mattress. Listen, you'll never sleep on in your life. Everybody has a fucking bum mattress.
Oh, my mattress is horrible.
It's fucking bum mattress. And sometimes it's where you spend the extra dough. This is fucking the real deal Holyfield. And for couples, you can customize each side of the mattress. Your mattress will arrive at your door in about a week. And shipping, you ready for this, is 100% button-free. Helix customers report 30% improvement in overall sleep quality. You got 100 nights to try it out. And if you don't love it, if you're not in love with it, they'll pick it up for free and give you 100% refund, no questions asked. Who else does that with a mattress? 100 nights. That's 3 months of your fat ass rolling on a mattress, killing it. And if you don't like it, you send it back like the savage that you are. No questions asked. You following me?
Send it back with your wife in it.
That's right. You have 100 nights, okay? That's why everybody from GQ magazine to Forbes all talking about Helix Sleep. You go to helixsleep.com right now. This is what I'm going to do. /Joey. And I'm going to give you $50 off your order. That's helixsleep.com/Joey. And that's $50 off your first order. helixsleep.com/Joey. Listen to me. If you like sleep, Joey, this is the mattress for you. Cut this shit. Who you lying to? Who you think you're talking to? Joey Bananas here? Number 2. Here's the best one. You got smart cars, you got smartphones, you got smart homes. Technology has made everything smart. But losing your stuff still makes smart people feel the hardest thing to do without my hand force protein.
Steroids or no?
No, look at me. I'm a fat fuck. What's steroids? If I was on steroids, I had muscles and I'm choking him right now. I'd be helping him out right now.
Lord's got him. Lord got me. I didn't know. You know, being strong.
Fuck, dog. You got no muscle.
That could be fat. That could be muscle.
It's a service. And my wife was making me, I don't know what the fuck happened. I gotta ask her what the
Football season is here, and so is the NFL Network on YouTube TV.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah,
so I really, I only focus on that stuff when I'm home. And I only focus on it when it's early in the morning.
Yeah.
I really like to lock myself in and take 2 hits to the pipe. And I watch that shit. You know?
Daddy work, yeah, it's good when your brain is nice
Did you get to watch the Ronda Rousey fight?
and loose. No, honestly, bro, I don't like watching women fight, bro. I watched a lot of women street fight when I was growing up. What? There's a lot of,
Lisa, it's like
these chicks are always fucking fighting around. So some of it I don't like. I do respect it. I think these women are tough and talented, you know, unbelievable.
Did you watch it?
Yes, sir.
What did you think?
I thought, well, personally, and I've said this before, that I thought, just unsure that like they wanted. I was like, why are they making Wanda the favorite? She's been gone for a year, and this other girl has been crazy good for a while. And my dad was saying today that she usually attacks and just gets people down in 12 seconds. They're done, and she didn't seem like she had the same urgency this time. That's what he said. He's a very amateur fan. And to me, I don't even know about that. It just seemed like, I don't know if she has to be there for a contract, or it didn't even look like a fight was put up to me.
I thought it was very sad.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the replay.
Like I said yesterday, I said, right before it started, I went to the bathroom. As I was pissing, I said, you know what? Ron's going to win this fight. Let her win. Let her retire. Prevent her frustrations from the media and how she felt and how she was treated. Tell a few people to go fuck themselves. And you never see Ronda Rousey again unless she's a spokesman for Fox Sports or something.
Yeah.
They'll get, you know what? Nunez will fight somebody for the interim belt and she'll get the championship back. Nobody's feelings get hurt here. This could end no matter what. Florida could be like 7, 6.5. You never know how fucking that crazy place.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
One of the things that happened to me as a result of like traveling all over the world is that I met this schizophrenia researcher. His name is Paul Fletcher. He's at Cambridge. And he wanted to experience like schizophrenia. He's treating these people, and he wanted to really know because of this critique that you just pointed out. And the only person who I know in that area who's done this.
What kind of drugs are we talking about here?
He did like ketamine to try and reproduce the experience because he heard that that was like would reproduce the experience. Of course it doesn't, but this is what people have said. Our animal models use ketamine for that reason, but it doesn't. But he was curious enough to try to figure out what schizophrenic people who were diagnosed with schizophrenia, he tried to figure out what they were experiencing. I don't know if he figured that out from this sort of experiential perspective, but what I do know is that if I ever had a relative who had schizophrenia, I would send him to Paul Fletcher. Because his perspective on it, it really respects the person who has this diagnosis, and it offers them the greatest amount of hope that I have seen in that area. And it would be good if other scientists in these areas, drugs, whatever it is, would also seek to try to figure out the experience that their patients are going through.
Yeah. It'd be almost like learning martial arts without ever sparring.
Yeah. Or coaching basketball without really playing.
Under pressure. Is there anything that mimics schizophrenia that someone is there like a commonly thought of substance that mimics schizophrenia?
They have suggested large doses of amphetamines over periods of time with sleep deprivation can mimic paranoid schizophrenia, but I don't know if it really does. I mean, all of this stuff I am now questioning, so I don't know. I mean, at one time, if you would have asked me that question maybe 5 years ago, I would have said amphetamines, but I don't know now.
Schizophrenia is an odd one too, right? Because doesn't it affect somewhere in the neighborhood of 1% of the population?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, but I have a lot more hope about schizophrenia after having met Paul Fletcher, just in terms of, I don't want to bastardize his sort of model of thinking about it. And so I may not have all the details right, but I would just say, just simply try to explain about, like you and I, we go through the world, everybody, we have these theories about how the world works. Like you smile, I have a theory about what that means, right? And so, Joe likes me or he's happy today, whatever. And then I'm right because you tell me that, whatever. Somebody who's diagnosed with schizophrenia, they also have these models that they're testing out. And so their model might be like, when you smile, they think that you're angry or whatever.
And or you're plotting against them.
Yes, and their model is just wrong. I mean, it's just like they're bumping up against these wrong answers. And then when they get more wrong answers, it causes even more stress, and that's very anxiety provoking. And then all of that is playing into this. It's like, first of all, your models are off, and now you're just getting this increased anxiety. And so I think that's how his model sees it. So that means that it's okay as long as we let people understand that. Don't worry if your model is getting it wrong. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It could be maybe we have it wrong in our society, and you might have a better way of thinking about this. So it's like, as opposed to it being one way, there might be multiple ways of thinking about these solving these problems that humans solve throughout their day. And that's how I think that's how he thinks of it. And it's a model of hope for me because you lessen the anxiety among the patients. And much of the problems deals with this anxiety of people telling them that they're incompetent. And you know how that is, how that feels as an adult, somebody telling you that you're incompetent. It's like, how can you tell me I'm incompetent?
So it exacerbates whatever problems
Exactly.
they initially have. It makes them far worse.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's also a thing that seems to happen. I've only known a few people that are schizophrenic, but it's a disturbing thing when they think that everybody's against them. And they feel like they're on their own. By virtue of everyone being against them, they feel isolated.
Yes.
And then whatever paranoia they have, it's like throwing dry sticks on it. It just rages into a fire. And it gets even worse because they think that people are plotting against them and everyone's against them. And they don't have anybody comforting them.
Yes.
And we need that. We all need that.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think particularly people with like a slippery version of reality probably need that more than most.
Yeah, when you say reality, it might be multiple realities. And that's the thing that we need people to understand, or that it's like, it's okay. It might be, your reality just might be different from theirs, but not to the point where you have a different reality and that you're allowed to abuse people. So I want to be clear because I know there are some people out here saying something about alternative facts. I don't mean it like where you manipulate people. I mean it for people who are struggling, like these people with schizophrenia, just to help lessen their anxiety.
Yeah. So, in terms of marijuana, particularly like high doses of marijuana, particularly edible marijuana, could really seriously exacerbate someone who's kind of hanging on barely anyway, and then boom, you eat an edible.
Absolutely.
You're fucked. So, someone like Alex would say that person's schizophrenia was brought on by marijuana, whereas I think you and I would probably agree they were more likely inclined towards schizophrenia anyway. And the high dose of marijuana pushed them over the. And then,
all the evidence says what you just said. I mean, so when you look at the evidence where people have done all of these studies, folks who didn't have these predispositions, marijuana doesn't cause people to be schizophrenic or have a psychotic disorder, but it certainly can precipitate or exacerbate psychosis in people who are predisposed.
So what I was going to get to was, do you think that maybe for people that have this predisposition towards schizophrenia, they should probably avoid psychoactive substances or avoid something that radically perturbs their version of reality?
They probably should avoid cannabis, right? I don't want to say avoid everything because
is there anything
that
they could maybe use that maybe would help them?
Yeah, so I spent a little time working in a heroin clinic in Geneva, and so they give out heroin to these patients twice a day, every day. Intravenous or oral, however the patient wants it, but a lot of intravenous heroin users, and it's all sanitized setting, hospital setting or clinic setting, twice a day. Many of these people have psychotic disorders, like diagnosed with schizophrenia, and heroin helps with many of these symptoms, and they feel better. Even more so in some cases than an antipsychotic.
Really?
Yeah, I talk about this in the new book, in fact. But yeah, this is so I don't want to have this blanket statement that they should avoid psychoactive substances because some might actually be helpful. And some other people have tried other drugs. One psychiatrist in the Netherlands gave his patients amphetamines, and he swears that it works. But that has to be researched out. But we'll see. But I know cannabis for sure. I wouldn't do that one.
you wouldn't do cannabis and perhaps not high levels of amphetamines as well either, right? Because
I don't know. I would have to slowly titrate and see whether or not it worked, or whether or not people felt better.
Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free, only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. And we're live. All right, Paul, first of all, welcome. Thank you for coming here. And you are probably one of the most requested people from the internet that I've ever had. So, feel good about that.
I'm honored.
And you're the first guy ever to wear a mushroom hat.
Okay.
That's really a hat made out of mushrooms?
Yeah, it's made from this amadou mushroom. It's called Foamy fomentarius. It grows on birch trees throughout the world. But this is an example.
I'm going to go with Jimmy Dore.
Oh, here we go. Good? Hello, Jimmy.
Hi, Joe.
What's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
What's happening?
Well, we were just talking about the Air Force admitting that their pilots had seen UFOs, and you were telling me you interviewed one of those pilots.
I interviewed Commander Fravor, and he was saying that this
chocolate would be my favorite.
Come on. It's with an R.
Fravor.
Fravor.
Okay.
He was he was one of the guys that actually went to what is the word they do when they scramble and go to try to figure out what the fuck something is. But they monitored this thing. They saw it with their eyes. They saw it with their equipment. It was actively jamming the radar, whatever this thing was. It was shaped like a Tic Tac, and it moved so fast you couldn't track it with the human eye. They said it went from, I think they said some impossible number, like 60,000 feet down to 200 feet in less than a second. Like whatever you could track. You know, radar is a blip, 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 blip. They don't know how fast it actually went. They just know it went this insane distance in less than a second, less than a radar jump. Like they had observed them in that area without his knowledge, like other Air Force pilots had observed them, and then had, brought it up the top of the food chain, but it wasn't something that got distributed to everybody until he saw it. When he saw it, he was like, what in the fuck am I looking at here? And they're like, well, yeah, we've been seeing these things. And this thing with no active propulsion system that you could recognize. There was nothing around, no fire coming out of it, nothing around. And it would just disappear, just take off at an insane rate of speed, and actively jamming the radar.
So when I covered this on my show, I said, now, I've heard reports that pilots see this stuff all the time, but they never confirmed it. And my question was, why now? Why would the Air Force be confirming that they saw UFOs now? Because, again, like there have been reports that pilots have seen this stuff forever. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying, why are they admitting it happened now? And then, of course, you see in this last defense budget, they put in money for Space Force.
I think the money for the Space Force, though, isn't that because China is able to...
That's what they say. Yeah, whatever they can do to make sure we want to spend more money, that's what they'll do. Hey, we saw a UFO. Hey, China. Hey, look over there. We got to spend more money.
That's what it is. That's why they're doing it. But Fravor, I guarantee you, isn't in that.
No, I guarantee he saw it. No, they're just now... But before, they would say that's not true. The Air Force would go, we don't acknowledge that. Now they're going to acknowledge it.
Right. You're probably right. There's probably something to that it's just about budgets. And I don't want to be that cynical or something like that.
Really? That's cynical?
I want to think that...
Come on, that's not cynical. That's 2 plus 2.
It is, you're right. But it's also cynical. The only reason why they're telling us is because of budgets. It's both things.
Yeah, okay.
It is 2 plus... I mean, look at it. It's 100% is how they do it. If they need some sort of justification for expanding their reach or expanding their budget, they come up with some threat.
Well, listen to this, Joe. This is what I keep telling people, and no one seems to think this is a big deal. But, the Democrats and the mainstream news have spent the last 3 years telling everybody that Trump is a Manchurian candidate, he's a traitor to our country, and working under the behest of Vladimir Putin. And while they're impeaching him, they're voting to give him an extra $131 billion to go bomb anybody he wants. And if he's bombing at the behest of Vladimir Putin, why would you give him an extra $131 billion? And let me tell you how much $131 billion is, Joe.
Please do.
$20 billion we got in homelessness.
And homelessness.
Yeah. To
Is that real though?
That's the
we can
figure.
get to that in a moment.
But let's just say it's 20. Let's just say it's 20 billion a year, not just once, but every year you have to spend 20 billion. Okay, guess what? They're spending an extra 131 billion since Trump took office. Every year going forward on bond. 131 billion. You
So
can't
if
everybody
they
go to
just
college.
110 billion, we have no homeless people.
Yes, if they took that money and put it towards it. That's a lot. So somebody told me the difference between a million and a billion. So I read this. So I don't know. Maybe you want to fact check, make sure I'm not full of shit again. But so like a million seconds would be like 11 days. But a billion seconds is like 33 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm not sure, but it's close.
Yeah.
So that's $131 billion could do a lot of good things. You know, we could half our military budget and we'd still be spending more than any other country.
Now, why do you think that they would do that? Why do you think while they're impeaching him, they would also approve this incredible budget increase for military?
Because they're owned, right, by the military-industrial complex. That's why, because they, you know, the defense secretaries just came right from Raytheon, right? The guy before who was Secretary of State came right from Exxon. I mean, come on. That's the beauty of Trump is like, you don't have to figure it out. It's right there. They asked him the other day about his criticisms of how he's handling. He goes, you know, where they said I didn't pull out of Syria, and I did, but I left troops for the oil. They're just there to guard the oil. And it's like, he just says it. Yeah. So, which proves he's the funniest president we've ever had.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. I thought George Bush was funny. This guy, he's intentionally and unintentionally the funniest president I've ever had. Like the other day, he was doing a signing. So in 2019 was the 100-year anniversary, the centennial anniversary of women getting the right to vote, women's suffrage. So he was signing a thing commemorating it, the 100-year. They're going to have a coin. And as he said, he goes, you know, I heard they've been working on getting this done for a long time. I wonder why it finally happened now. Well, because the centennial's now, dummy. You can't do it. Why didn't 100 years happen faster? And he's sitting around going, well, we get stuff done. That's why it happened. And they're all looking at him like, okay, Mr. President. But he straight faces it. It's hilarious.
Do you think he's on speed?
And somebody, so when he did that one video
with the drawer open,
it
was actually a photo. It was a photo when he was eating that taco.
Oh, great, that's it.
Like, I love Hispanics. Remember that? It was after he said some rude shit about Mexicans. So he does this taco bowl thing, saying that Trump Tower is the best taco bowls. I love Hispanics.
Yes, and the drawer was open, and you saw he had that stuff from England or whatever, right? The Superfed.
Super powerful pseudoephedrine, which is essentially a type of speed.
Well, I like him on speed better than the other guy. I like the speedy Trump. He's entertaining.
Well, sometimes it wears off, though, and you see him slurring his words, and it gets really
he doesn't even try to finish words sometimes.
He tries, but he can't. You can see him have a hard time with words sometimes.
What was the one word? Him and George Bush both... Oh, sovereignty. They both... Sovereign.
Well, there's that one. David Pakman put a video up. It showed all the different times that Trump has struggled to talk. But there's one that's really disturbing because it's obvious he's under some sort of sedative or he's coming down from some speed and he's barely staying awake while he's talking. It's like if you called me at 3 o'clock in the morning and I just worked 24 hours in a row.
Watch live and local news on a variety of networks with YouTube TV. Try it free.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
You have no idea what I've gone through in my life. From the fist fights, to the arguments, to the beatings. I still remember my mother taking me into a restaurant bathroom and holding me in a, what's that one?
Headlock? Guillotine?
Guillotine.
And she's punching you?
No.
She shot you up?
Yeah.
With what?
Penicillin.
Oh my God!
Because when I was a kid, I was so sick.
She got you in a headlock and shot you up.
Listen to me.
Where the needle go?
Listen to me.
Top of his head.
Cubans. We had a Cuban doctor, Dr. Orlando Del Valle. He made house calls. Okay. He came over. He would come to the.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
My friend Jessa Reed, who's a very funny comic, her mother was saying, you should have daughters. She goes, you let the kids on the phones too much. She goes, Mom, in 10 years, they're going to be the phone.
Yeah.
She was like, the phone's going to be inside of them soon.
Yeah.
So it's like, what am I fighting? What am I fighting with?
I limit my kids' time on the phones, except the older one, of course.
Do you just go, I'm sorry,
I just don't think that it's
do you control
challenge
content?
Yes. Yeah. I just don't think it's a challenge that we ever face.
Are they allowed to watch InfoWars?
All day. That's all we have.
Thank God.
We project it. What else is the keys? Screen time. Screen time's a big key.
Yeah.
Tell about Epstein. Epstein didn't kill himself. That's big. You gotta tell them that before they start Googling.
Yes.
For themselves.
They gotta know. They gotta know. It fucks up your sleep when you're on it. I fall asleep to a podcast. You're gonna laugh. I used to fall asleep to Alex. I would listen to Alex's clips on YouTube, and I would fall asleep to just, and I would be able to put me to sleep.
You know what I think his best video is to this day?
He's one of the greatest entertainers of our time.
You gotta watch him. When I first met him, he wasn't the Alex Jones that people see today. And I think the Alex Jones that he is today is changing because of his not drinking.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's clean for 90 days.
Interesting.
He sounds different. But what I'm thinking is, when I first saw 9/11 Road to Tyranny, it was one of the first videos I ever watched. I was like, whoa. It's one of the first videos that ever opened my eyes up to certain conspiracies. And one of them was the conspiracies of using agent provocateurs to incite violence in riots, to incite that feeling of chaos, and then that they use that as an excuse for the police to come in and start arresting people, because now it's no longer a peaceful protest.
And they do it all the time.
And so he was making this argument about the World Trade Organization.
WTO.
Yeah, and so he showed all those videos of these guys coming in with government-issue work boots on. They have fucking the same soles as government-issue work boots. They're wearing ski masks, breaking buildings, lighting shit on fire, smashing everything, and then the cops come in and clean everybody up. And then they actually made it a no-protest zone.
Interesting.
So a guy went through, or a woman, I forget which, but had a pin with a WTO on it, with a red line on it. They told him he had to take that pin off.
Yeah, the
America.
Yeah, well, it's just every protest resistance movement has been infiltrated. The FBI did it at COINTELPRO. They did it with the Black Panthers. It's just done with everybody.
But when he plays that video and you see that, and it's real clear, then you hear how it all played out, that all the agent provocateurs wound up going to a safe house, and then the police released them.
That's right.
They negotiated with the police, and the police released them. You're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
There's no arrests made?
It's probably somebody's job in the FBI to dye their hair pink and go into Portland and start throwing rocks at Ben Shapiro or something.
Well, back then they were just allowed to wear ski masks and shit.
Right.
They just start smashing shit, and you couldn't even know who they were.
Yeah.
And you just assumed that was... I mean, it's such a crazy way to stop a protest, and I never thought about it until I watched it.
But a smart way, too.
It's fucking real smart.
These guys know what they're doing.
But they've been doing that kind of shit forever.
Yeah.
That's standard operational procedure.
100%.
Fucking, this is a weird time for conspiracies.
It's weird. They've gone mainstream, which is not good.
Very dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Trump's into a lot of them.
He's into a lot of them. And I think there's only a small group of people that want a rational discussion about them.
Right.
People really just want to be emotionally fed. Does this feel right to me?
Yeah.
And there's I had a guy call me today, he's a very smart guy. He wrote The Franklin Scandal, which is a book about the original Epstein thing, the original sex trafficking thing.
What's that?
Well, The Franklin Scandal was a scandal out of Omaha, Nebraska, the Franklin Credit Union, where there was a guy who was embezzling money, and then he was being investigated for that, but they said he has all this money because he's running an interstate pedophile network, and he's pandering kids to people in Washington, D.C. and New York, and there was a headline in the Washington Post or the Washington Times that were like, call boys get a tour of the Reagan White House. And, this was a scandal with real victims who wanted to testify, and then people started dying. The private investigator they hired, his plane broke up. One of the girls that testified was found guilty of perjury, and then she was put in solitary confinement. They had to use 2 grand juries in Omaha to get rid of this scandal. And it's it's not as sexy as a Pizzagate or something because it happened in the 80s and 90s, but this shows you the blueprint for the government, using marshaling resources to silence people that were victims of this stuff. This is not new. Congressmen, senators, blackmail being used by intelligence agencies, none of it's new. It was pioneered by the mafia. intelligence take Whitney Webb, who lives in Chile, and I've had her on my show. She writes a lot about this stuff. This is, if you want people to talk, you need info, you need leverage.
Yeah.
There's no more leverage than you having sex with somebody who's underage. Then they own you forever if they have photo, audio, video of you doing that. So these things have been going on for a while. Franklin scandal was one of the first. But, the guy who wrote it, this guy Nick Bryant, called me today and he goes, I can't get any agents. It's very hard because, the reality is mainstream media is uninterested in a lot of these stories unless they're current and they're sexy. And online fringe people are only interested if they're insane.
Well, there's so many of them now, though, too. There's so many. It's hard to keep track. Like, you were just saying that you were just in Dallas. Did you do the drive? Did you do the
I didn't do the drive, but I went to the X where he was shot. There was 5 Canadians there, and they were like, I was just started giving them an impromptu tour of Dallas because they were like, is this where Kennedy got wet? And I'm like, yeah, this is how it happened.
How many people do you think have stood there and went like this?
Right, yeah. I wanted to do it. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Wow.
I wanted to do a Popeye's chicken sandwich and just write, this is America.
It says this is where Princess Diana was killed.
Yeah, which has a little fun.
Is that really where Kennedy was killed?
That's exactly where he was shot. That's exactly where. And how cryptic is that?
Look how angry you look.
Yeah.
You're a crazy person.
Well, I'm just trying to have a little fun.
I understand. It's a weird thing to joke around.
But then you go to the school book depository, and it is super close. It could have happened.
Oh, for
100%.
Listen, everybody who says there's no way he could have made those shots is out of their fucking mind. That's not that far.
That is not the thing that makes me think it's a conspiracy. It's literally everything else.
Yeah.
It's every other component of the story.
Yeah,
it's Oswald being shot immediately.
Yes.
I mean, that's...
Oswald surely could have been in on it.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
He could have definitely been in on it. Or he could have definitely been set up. Both of those things are possible.
And Dallas is an interesting energy because of that.
Yeah.
It's a great city, but it does feel like a city of people that keep their mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of big corporate steakhouses, high-end hotels.
Yeah.
A lot of people carving up, deals. It just feels like something's going on.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is.
So that's where he is, and that's the building up there. See, that's not that far.
It can happen.
I think they said it's just like 150 yards or something like that.
It's not. When you're actually there, it looks even closer than this.
Yeah. How many yards was it, Jamie? Find out how many yards Oswald had to shoot to hit Kennedy. But it's totally doable. And people that say that it's not, you're crazy.
They're nuts.
And people that say that you can't load a gun that fast, maybe you can't. I bet someone can do it faster than you.
Yeah.
I've seen guys use bolt-action rifles fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Could they get off 3 shots in that amount of time? I don't know, but I don't think it's magic. I don't think it's like something impossible. The other thing they said was like that the scope was off. Like, anybody said that doesn't know shit about scopes. All you have to do is handle it a little bit, drop it, bang it against things.
It was the idea that guy was killed immediately, and then obviously I read a couple of books on it. But the idea that he gets killed immediately, that's where you go. Something's wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Something's just completely.
183 meters is what I just found.
183 meters. What is that in yards?
It's about 200 yards.
Is it?
That's what this says. I don't know if this is the accurate measurement was, but that's what I just found.
That's interesting. I didn't know there was that much of a disparity.
This says it was never more than 90 yards from
the
Oswald's supposed location. So there's a lot.
Oh, okay. So where he went when he got the final shot was that far? Was 200 yards? No, that doesn't make any sense. He was never more than 90 yards from Oswald's location. How does that work?
2 separate.
I didn't know that 183 meters was 200 yards. That's crazy.
Yeah.
A meter's pretty close to a yard.
Yeah, it's pretty...
Right, but that's why I thought it would be like 185 or something like that. There's actually a formula for doing that, for converting meters to yards. You add 1 of the last numbers or some shit. I forget how it works.
It's an interesting thing because it really is, Christopher Hitchens said that the Kennedy assassination was the movement that moment was the psychic movement of the 60s started. Like that was the fracturing of reality for a lot of people in the same way that maybe Epstein was, where it just kind of...
No, president's got to be way bigger.
It's huge. It was huge. It was this big thing that, it was a traumatic event that people dealt with in a bunch of different ways.
No one's sitting around going, do you remember where you were?
Yeah, when Epstein died? Well, you don't have the friends I do. So a lot of people on Reddit saying that.
But it's like 9/11.
Of course.
Almost.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah.
Almost like
Those are the events.
Unless you knew somebody 9/11,
Yeah.
it's probably bigger.
Do you think it's possible that down the road, not that the government did it, but we find out that there was a substantial cover-up? We didn't know about Saudi Arabia, their involvement for a while. There's
for 9/11?
Yeah. Do you think it's possible that we just don't know the whole story?
It's totally possible. I don't have any idea what was being done or who was involved. And I know that there was a bunch of hijackers and they flew planes to those buildings, but who was behind that? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
How would we know?
Great question.
What part of Saudi Arabia, where they all came from, where did they get their orders from? How did they organize this? I think they know a certain amount, and I think a certain amount they'll probably never know.
Yeah. And we'll go to our death not knowing.
What do you think about that one that got shot down? They've shot that Let's Roll one.
Yeah, they shot that down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they said that thing, the flight, the rubbish, the wreckage was scattered for miles.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they didn't check that. But there's a lot of things about that day where you look back at it and you go, "This is just weird."
Yeah,
it's weird that a building fell that wasn't hit by anything. It's just weird. I'm not saying it can't happen, but that's odd.
It's definitely odd.
That's odd.
The way it looks is odd. It looks like a controlled demolition. But if you watch the full version, there's a guy who used to be like a full-on 9/11 truther, and then he started
then the CIA started
attention.
Yeah.
And he started just paying attention to the flaws in his way of thinking.
Sure.
And one of the things that he found out was that the version of Tower 7 that most people see is a version that's very quick. It implodes and it just falls down. But for minutes before that, you can watch the center of the thing collapse inside of it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Have you ever seen that version?
I've never seen that version.
Pull up the full version. Yeah, it's very interesting. Full version of Tower 7 collapsing.
Yeah.
I want to find one.
Well, because the 9/11 people get so crazy. They're like, there were no buildings, it's all holograms, there were no planes, New York doesn't exist. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah.
But I want to see the uncut Building 7. Maybe
a plane hit the Pentagon.
Well, okay, but just release. I just want to see one video of it happening.
Right.
Just show me one video.
Do you think they have a video?
Is there some weird video on the Pentagon? Just show me one video of it happening. I think it probably
happened. Of a plane hitting the Pentagon?
There's one, but it's very weird. The frames are very weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Just show me the video. I want to believe a plane hit the Pentagon.
The rover on the fucking moon is taking beautiful videos.
This is what I'm saying. This is the problem. This is
you imagine if you have some shit that's like 1,000 times worse than one of them doorbell cameras?
Yeah.
They got 1,000 times worse. They're just viewing the goddamn
Pentagon. They're putting it together from cell phone cameras. I understand that with technology was different. Just show me a video of a plane hitting the Pentagon. I'm good. I'm with you.
What do you think it could be, a missile?
I don't know, but I just want to know why there's no one video. We gotta see a video. Isn't that crazy? Why am I crazy for saying, can I just see one video of the thing happening that you said happened?
Well, did you know that, maybe this is not true, and Jamie's going to be checking this one out soon. The area in the Pentagon that got hit
was refortified.
Was the same area where they were doing the accounting.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to figure out where the $1 trillion is missing that Rumsfeld was talking about on camera. I think the day before, right?
It's an interesting situation.
Did he say that there's missing money?
Wasn't Rumsfeld out on the lawn? Like these people, what are they doing?
They're just
doing You're not in a bunker, you're out on the lawn. I don't know what happened. I mean, listen.
It was something crazy, like trillions of dollars.
2.3 trillion.
Oh my God.
I mean,
And so the next day, to see if that's true, that area of the Pentagon that held the accounting.
I don't think they tell you what.
Just see if you can Google the area of the Pentagon that was hit contained the accounting offices.
Jamie, I believe the dark web will have it. The dark web will have it.
I feel like I read that though. I know I understand your suspicion, but I'm just like you.
I'm trying to lie.
I heard that Building 7 had a lot of financial records in it. That's what I heard. On Enron? I don't know.
All the satellite dishes that were pointed at.
Listen, here's the thing with the way I look at conspiracies. I don't want to believe in any of them.
Right.
That's the whole thing. I want there to be a plane in the Pentagon. I want it all to be what it is. I know that's
we know that a bunch of elites were going to an island to have sex with underage girls.
Yeah, of course they could do whatever. They don't care.
We also know, hey, how much of this is true? This is a wacky one.
Yeah.
This is one that if you told your mom 10 years ago, she'd be like, Tim, you're back on the drugs.
Yeah. She would. Yeah.
She'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No one's going to an island to fuck kids.
Right. But it's the same thing. It's like, now that that's on the table. You look at other events, and you're like, well, we don't know necessarily how all of these things happen.
We don't know.
We don't know. We just have to go. There's conservative fire companies from Queens, from out by Long Island, that because they've gotten sick and stuff, have demanded a new investigation. And these are not crazy people. These are people that just go, listen, we're all dying from first responders and things. We just, we want to know exactly what the hell we breathed in and what the hell's going on.
Well, it's all the burning chemicals from the basement of the building, right? Wasn't that the idea? Those fires burn forever.
I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, those guys got so many of them got sick. So many of them got cancer.
It's horrible.
It's horrific.